Yahushua chief cornerstone and that. Uh, should be large in the chat. Yeah, I know. Bought the winter jackets. And, yeah. Now it's hot. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
When the start of swords by giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Makar, Kadash. Right, double honors to the apostle great millstone, and honestly brothers in the work of the most High in truth and in sincerity. All right, Yahweh's real name in whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, or Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh. His son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Bar Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bar meaning in, meaning the, and Sham meaning name, so Yahweh, the name of Yahweh Shai. Which those names are important for salvation. Which is why we always start our lessons right by mentioning them. Okay. But yeah, I was just saying to the brother earlier on. Recently had a builder, right, and was basically doing some tiling in my house, right, in my bathroom. He basically had gotten degraded over a period of time, right. And one of the things that he noticed, right, was that their building wasn't square, right. He said building wasn't square, and he started speaking about the importance of builders basically building together, making sure that everything is fitly framed together, that everything is square, right? Because he was saying if the foundations ain't right, or if the building has issues in the way that it's lined up, in the way that that it ain't square, right, then you end up having issues with the general. You have issues. Basically, is the point that he was making. It made me think about this thing about right how we have to be one in everything that we speak, right? How we have to be perfect, to as part of this building that the Most High is building in the spirit, right? So, I'm not sure if you got anything,
Yeah.
you know.
This First Peter 2, sorry, from 5. Yeah. Ye also, as a lively stone, are built up a spiritual house, an holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Most High by our Shia Masha.
Yeah, so we're part of the Lord's building, right? Everyone is a brick, if you will, right? And if there's a brick that ain't right, like I can imagine if you, because Prince, once again, when the guy was there, he was putting on the tiles, right? And if the tile weren't right, or if the tile had got chipped or whatever, he threw it away, right? It makes me think of also about the precepts with the fish, right? Where basically like if you got unclean fish, you got a net, you got unclean fish. What do you do with the unclean fish? Right, you throw it away, right? Because it ain't meat, right? In terms of what it is that we're building, right? And every now and then you get rogue builders that want to come to the house, right? Trying to help build and stuff like that. It's like, bro, you can't build. You ain't a builder. You ain't part of this. I'm thinking about your vocabs and that. What the scripture was in it's in Ezra, where it was like you can't. They wanted to build with us. Oh, it's like you can't build. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can look for that as well. If there's more, no. I'll look.
Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone,
That's it.
elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded.
That's right. That's right. So you want to speak on that now? Yep. Yeah, that's it. Now, who's that chief cornerstone? That's Yahweh Shai, right? That's that chief cornerstone, and you get certain people that don't want to put respect on Yahweh Shai. But once again, when you're talking about a chief cornerstone, that's like the key part of that building, foundation, right? People are trying to. In fact, if we can I've got the one in I was referring to in Ezra, but if we can get the one about the different foundations, right, stuff, people building on stony ground and this that and the other, right? Because when you build it, man, you got to build right. Once again, it's like once you have a building, if something in the foundation is wrong, right, then you're gonna have to knock that building down and start again, right? So once again, that thing about building in perfection, right? We just go on the spirit, see where the spirit leads as always. So you want me to look for it? Yeah, kind. Right. Stone ground, it says. One sec. Um, um, but yeah, in fact, if you look for that, let me read the one in Ezra. Once you look for it. Yeah, it says Ezra 4, right, from the top. It says, now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto Yahweh, power of Israel, then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers, right, and said unto them, let us build with you. Right. So for instance, right now you got your vocabs, your different people that are trying to build with us, but they can't build. They ain't licensed. Right. They haven't been given that authority because they ain't one of us. Right. It says, for we seek your power as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esar are done. Right? So it says, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esar had done, king of Assur, which brought us up hither. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, ye have nothing to do to build with us. Right? So you're getting these individuals that want to build, but they ain't fit to build. Right? You know, and if you try to get them on the building site, guess what? They go mess things up. Right? It says, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord power of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, hath commanded. Right? So did you get that one?
This is the book of Matthew 7 and 24, which reads, therefore, whosoever hears these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him into a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the flood came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock.
Yeah, so having that strong foundation. You get lots of different individuals that haven't got a strong foundation. They be building, well, it's going to give the different examples. They'll be building off of nonsense, man, right? Or they'll be, once again, they'll be building things where it may look like it's stony, but there's a crack in it. And then what does that make? It makes it a foundation that ain't stable. And then what's going to happen? You're going to get a little bit of a water, and over time it's going to erode and crack and then break, right? Because it wasn't built the right way.
Goes on to say, and everyone that hears these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened unto the foolish man which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the flood came, and the winds blew, and it beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it.
Yeah. So let's think about all of the different things where the foundation, people are building on the foundation that ain't right. Let's start off the main one. One where they say that the name of the Lord doesn't matter. Right? So, Prince, how did we start? Let's started the lesson by saying, you know, it's with those names where we must be saying. Right? We can read Acts 4 real quick. Acts 4 and 12.
Book of Acts.
Jump in and
4 and 12. Yep. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved.
Right. So, and that's playing into the point. There ain't no other name given given to men, right, wherein we must be saved. Right. So when you've got individuals that are taking that away, when they're basically saying no, that those names don't matter, right? One, you got to really watch those people, man. You gotta get away from them, right? Because they're basically making you build something on an unsure foundation, right? One's faith is basically being built up on an unsure foundation, right? Another one, unless after you get your precept, another one is the MOTB. If you're not speaking about what the MOTB really is, right, then once again, your people, your congregation ain't being set up in the right way. You see, we're vastly with spirit, right? The apostle constantly from all throughout the YouTube era and before, right, getting Archean mind prepared, right? For the fact that we're gonna come into a time. Oh, that was another one. They said no time of trouble.
Yeah.
You know.
No trouble, gay.
Yeah, all of that nonsense, right? So people's minds aren't being prepared for the terror that is gonna befall this earth. But you got a precept, brother?
Yeah. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 17 and 10. And the elect shall praise his holy name.
Yeah. So then, what does that make you think? That people that aren't calling them ain't of the elect. That's plain to the point, right? You know, the elect shall praise the holy name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? Because why? And why is it important? It's one thing. I saw, for instance, one of my favorite precepts is Ezekiel 36 chapter, right, where the Lord basically says, "Look, man, I ain't even saving you for you. I'm saving you for my holy name's sake." Right. So then, when you think about the fact that the only it's funny because the only camp that declares really that that we have not really the only camp that declares that we have 100% truth is one of the premier camps for pushing the name, right? Because all of the things that the apostles have been imbued in the spirit, imbued, I don't know if that's the right word, but have been given in the spirit, the understanding and the things that we're then all the men, right, of Great Millstone are coming out and teaching. These things are gonna happen. But at the beginning of every lesson, at the end of every lesson, right, we're saying who's gonna do it. So that when in this world different things are happening, what are people gonna say? Who did it? Like what is really going on? They're gonna say the Christians never said it. The Christians didn't say this was gonna happen. The Buddhists didn't say this was happening. The Muslims didn't say that these things would happen. Right? It was them people that were saying Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai. They're the ones that said they was happen. So then what will people then say? That that's who did this. Okay. You know?
I got something for you. This is book of 2 Corinthians 11:4. For if he that cometh preaches another Yahushua, whom we have not preached, or if ye receive another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel, which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him.
Don't you know?
Yeah, man. That's beginning with the main prophets, which we are waiting for. The mark of the beast, the
Yep.
MOTD, which is found in the book of Revelation, 14:16, going down. That's the main prophet that we are waiting for. If some, so these other preach, groups, they don't actually put for, they're put forward pushing that prophecy, man.
Yeah.
It's only the men of Great Millstone, to begin with, the apostle and elders of Great Millstone on the way down, are the one who were preaching that prophet in particular.
Yeah. That's it. Let me grab this off the back of Romans 16:17. Right. It says, now beseech you, brethren, mark them. Right. And that word is skopeos, the Greek. That will mark G4648. Right. So to take aim at. Right. Regard, consider, take heed, look on, mark. Right. To look at, observe. Right. To mark. Basically, I put a scope on that individual. Like, hey, watch out for that guy. Right, so which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. Right, and once again, what is one of the things that we learned? We learned what the MOTB is. Right, we learned, what the names of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We know these things to be true. Yet you have people that have strayed from the doctrine, right, and then they're basically trying to gather, flock under them. But hey, guess what? We understand this one thing, that this thing of ours is of the elect, right? The Lord the Lord didn't come for everyone. The Lord only came for his elect, right? So when we're seeing different people and different individuals talking things contrary, we just know what it is. We've been called to be defenders of the gospel, right? So that's what we will do, right? We'll come and defend the gospel. We'll be like, yo, hey, watch out for these guys. That's why the apostles have used, the statement of like sentinels, right? At Great Millstone, we're like sentinels, man. At Great Millstone, we're like sentinels. When we hear something or we see something that ain't right, like I feel like I heard you elders speaking about, the whole thing with the ISUPK recently, right? We go and come and make videos on that.
That's in the scriptures.
Yeah.
We're spiritual weathermen, man. We tell you the forecast before shit happens, man. And these guys, ISUPK, they're just another example of, hirelings of the wicked elite. Romans 16 and 17.
Yeah,
And because you got guys on the comment board saying, why is that GMS always talking about other camps? Because we're supposed to. We're watchmen, man. A watchman watches what's going on and reports to the people what's going on.
Yeah.
Romans 16 and 17 says to go fail them, man.
I'll
And
read it.
avoid them, niggas. Go ahead.
Romans 16:17 says, "Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause offences and brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offences contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them."
Avoid them, because when you got guys calling themselves real niggas, and we don't associate ourselves with being niggas, man, black and all this other stuff, that shit is void of light. Them niggas are just pushing straight up darkness. They, like Michael 3, it says they strip,
They strip away.
they strip away your flesh.
Yeah.
They're putting you back into that niggerism type spirit instead of giving you this new, this truth.
They're like they're playing on ego.
Yeah, that's it.
No, with the scripture says when you come into the truth, you gotta deny it. Can we get that? When you come into this truth, you really gotta deny yourself, man. And we've always pointed out the fact that you look at Great Millstone, we're all about the doctrine, and teaching and the ministry,
Sound doctrine.
teaching His word. So the apostles will get on us to do what? To study, to learn these scriptures, to go out there and teach in season, out season. Make sure that the doctrine's correct.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're treating brothers in the camps correct. These are the things that the apostles and elders focus on, right? Make sure that you're prophesying about the destruction of America, martial law. Make sure you're telling those that's coming in the truth about the truth.
Yeah.
The apostles, from the very day one you watch them, they'll be like, yo, this ain't no party.
Yeah.
This ain't no gimmick. What do the elders always say? They talk about the truth is sweet in the mouth, but it was bitter in the stomach.
Yeah.
Apostle Gabar always talking about the meaning of the word patience. How when you come into this truth, you come into the truth to suffer. And you're going to suffer in this truth in various ways, where it's all going to be based upon your faith. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that the apostles focus on. What they don't focus on is money and
The carnal shit.
because IUIC, they focus on the money and the prestigious ego. The ego, that money ego,
Yeah.
the status that comes with money. You know what I'm saying? They like to talk about money, which is why they call us bums.
Yeah.
Yeah, so their thing is they put status on money. That's why they talk about they call us bums. They concentrate on making money, looking the part in terms of gold, and the gold and the purple represents royalty. But they're not really about you being royal within. It's more of an outward form of royalty.
Yeah.
So you got to wear the pantomime garments. Kings in the making song, kings in the building. Do you know what I'm saying?
Never been a weak Jew.
Oh, we got to do Esau's paperwork. Why? For money. Because we need to get big. We need to build supermarkets. We need to build this. We need to build that. We need to have private planes. You need to have a 4K camera. Make sure that is high quality. So everything they do is based upon that ego of being upper echelon. But then
It's worldly.
which is worldly, because that's how the world is, right? You got that's a hip hop.
Yeah.
If you look at hip hop, right, you get two egos that hip hop appeals to. One of them is what ICP appeals to. That's why they're always walking around wearing the gold chains and everything's
Shades.
I got the best of everything, and look at me, look at that. And then niggas see that and they want to be that. So they want to copy that because it's part of their ego. And the same thing, the women want to be with that man. It's an ego thing. But then there's the other, But then there's the other ego, the tough guy ego. And ISCPK, they embody the tough guy ego. So they don't wear the purple and the gold. They'll wear the black. They'll wear the full black, the studs, the boots. Wear the tough
Real
guy.
niggas.
You come to the Passover, he's going to be with some killers. Some urban killers. So they're appealing to that ego. Oh, GMS, you're cowards.
Yeah.
Everyone else is a coward. We're not cowards. That's their thing. So they're appealing to the ego. Yeah, gangsterism. Oh yeah, we're about that. everyone else, shout, bit loudest mic over here. These two camps are appealing to two of the most identifiable base egos that's out there for a man to. We're GMS, we don't do all that.
No.
We're appealing to the spirit. So if you're into that tough guy spirit, then ISUPK is gonna appeal to you. If you're into that get money, prestigious spirit, but we don't fit into none of them categories because we're just keeping it real.
We're the most hated.
Go on.
That's least desired.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say we're cow. ISUPK call us cowards. IUIC call us bums. There's no the insult you choose says a lot about your ego. The insult you choose says a lot about your ego, man. You know, you can see it. The symbolism is there.
This is from 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 11. I'm going to start from 11, right? It says, knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. Right? We persuade men through this truth, right? And it's not all nice. You're going to go through some hardships and shit, man. You know what I mean? But these guys, they persuade you with gimmicks. They draw you into a lifestyle. They're trying to draw you into a lifestyle that appeals to you. So whether you know being a hard nigga appeals to you, you're gonna go ISUPK. We're gonna be a family Israelite and party Israelite. You might go IUIC. You know, it's based on those things. The truth is secondary to those things.
Yeah.
Right? When you people go, it's secondary. Ross, it's the first thing that you're gonna hear about, man. You know, forget all this lifestyle shit. We're not here to live a lifestyle. We're here to be men of the Lord. You know?
And even in that documentary.
And every brother's different.
Yeah.
Some brothers, I mean, Slakia, man. Some brothers, you like everyone's different. You can't put everyone in this box, man. And that's how you know they're trying to. It's weird what they're doing. Some brothers is different, man. You might have some brothers that like to wear nice clothes. Some brothers don't give a fuck, man.
Yes.
But that's not got nothing to do with the doctrine.
That's right.
Some brothers is, you know, real serious men that are fighters and go out there and can really. There's brothers in GMS that will.
Yeah.
You don't want to see them on the cobbles. Not me. I'm fucked up. I'm talking about
brothers that's been in actual military.
There's brothers,
not fake militias and shit.
That's not what we're here for. But there are brothers that's going to be in GMS. You have freedom to be who you are to a degree, because some brothers are going to do the press ups thing and go to the gym and do all that, and some brothers don't do it that much. But that's not what we're here to promote.
It's not a lifestyle we're trying to sell you.
Yeah, it's just but what they all know is the scriptures, and they all go out there and teach it, which is what it's really about, the faith.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're not really bothered about all that tough guy or whether you want to be the, you know.
Just because Paul said I was a Greek to the Greeks and barbarians to the barbarians.
All things
you knew how to switch it up.
Yeah.
Like Paul was the man that knew how to deal with different characters, deal with different people. You know, he knew how to persuade. Even like who was that? Was it not? Who was it that he nearly persuaded? Either might. Felix, was it Felix or one of them? He knew how to talk to people, you know, on a certain level, man. That's why he was the perfect man to go out around Asia Minor, to go and, you know, be a Pharisee, you know, apostle to the Gentiles, because he knew how to deal with different languages and all of that. He was a people's type of person, man. Agrippa, Salakia. He nearly persuaded Agrippa, you know, because he was a people's type of person. He knew how to basically, you know, supplant. He's a different spirit. That's Jacob.
But these guys, they're just, it's very unreal. And like I said, if you research where uniforms come from, that's not even our culture. That's not our culture,
not,
man. You know, it's not. It was never our culture. If you look it up in history, tribal peoples didn't have uniforms, man. They just had a tribal, a cultural way that they dressed that would identify them, i.e., the fringes. So if you see all brothers from Great Millstone, you know we're all Israelites because we got the fringes on, but this brother's got that garment, that brother's got that garment. You know what I'm saying? So you go back in history, you would have probably been able to tell if someone was a Gadite because they had a Gadite style, but you can also tell they're a Hebrew. But it wasn't wearing, you know, uniform that was coming off a production line. Do you know what I'm saying? You just would know because it's got that cultural look to it. Or Issachar would have that cultural look. Do you know what I'm saying? And then so when they go to war, they didn't turn up in a uniform. They turned up, everyone's wearing what they need to wear, but you can identify that we're all together because they have similar traits. They weren't just like, that you got that from Esau. The Romans did that. The Romans was one of the first ones to uniform their army. So every guy had the same helmet, same, you know what I mean, same everything. And then you had the red coats with the British with the red coats. They all had the red coat. Same. It's a uniform. You got that from Esau, man.
Yeah, because the Freemasons, they have that same kind of uniform, the apron, and they do all the marching. That's where IUIC got that mantra
Yeah,
from. Man.
marching
They do
around the
same shit.
place. Yo, when armies march, it's the war, man. What are we marching for? Go on now.
So yeah, so knowing that,
Yeah, I mean, I heard her say like they unify themselves in the physical look, but we unify ourselves in the spirit.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Spiritual army.
so knowing therefore the terror of the Lord will persuade men that we are made manifest unto the Most High, and I trust also are made manifest in your conscience. For we commend not ourselves again unto you, but give you occasion to glory on our behalf, that ye may have somewhat to answer them which glory in appearance and not in heart. They're not dealing with the spirit, man. They're dealing with the appearance of being men of the Lord or being Israelites. So, that's what they're really dealing with. They're not really dealing with this truth. They're not sincere in what they're doing, man. A lot of these are trying to make a cheap buck off you, man.
Didn't Johanna started singing about do it in the butt and all this stuff?
Yeah, all that.
Man, these dudes are weird, man.
Weirdo.
But
And then even in that documentary, they didn't mention Yahweh Shai once.
they're not
You know,
going
they
to.
didn't break down the scriptures properly. They kept talking about the white man. When Esau is not a white man, he's the red man. You should have to call them Edomites. You didn't even identify Esau either. You didn't identify Israel as being so-called dark-skinned people. You just kept talking about black.
Well, yeah, he said with the black stuff, but then he mentioned the Latinos. The Latinos are not black. So,
There's no edification, no understanding in that, man. That documentary was just a waste of time. It's just basically to show Jake in a carnal manner.
because you also mentioned the Israelites are the ones that were, the lineage was in slavery and that. But the Latinos weren't in the same bondage as the Negroes. So you sending a whole bunch of mixed signals that you're not even getting nothing straight.
Yeah.
It's confusion.
Yeah, they just want to. The ICPK is there to paint an image of this being another black
Movement.
movement.
Because by definition, us brothers here in the UK, well, majority of us, because we didn't go on cargo station to America, we wouldn't even be included in that. Because he specifically said those that went in the slave ships, right? Not all of us went on slave ships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's confusion, man.
Yeah, no real edification, or an understanding.
Points at the end. This is 1 Corinthians 14 from 26, and it just says, how is it, brethren, when you come together, every one of you hath the psalm, hath the doctrine, hath the tongue, hath the revelation, hath an interpretation, let all things be done unto edify.
Right? It has to build, right? That's what edify means. It's to build, man. Okay, and you can only build in one way.
Yeah.
You can't build in different ways, man. And she speaks about that. Be careful what you lay on another man's foundation, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Right? Because everything that these wicked guys they build, man, it's gonna be burnt because it's spilling to chaff.
Yeah. If I could say that's what we was kind of started off with, right? I was thinking like I had a builder, and he was basically saying that the problem with my property was that it wasn't built square. And the foundation was right. He was basically saying, if you're doing building, everything has to be square. Everything has to line up. And if something ain't square, then it makes it hard for other people.
Yeah. Exactly. It has to line up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we always harp on the scriptures, harp on it. Sound doctrine, man. You can't spit leaven and a little leaven the whole lot. You'll have sound doctrine all the way around, man. So that's why the certain topics we go into, these other camps, they strain at that. They flip and start bugging out because they can't deal with the fact that the Lord is the truth. Like the grape thing. You've got still got camps bugging out over the grape thing. You got the GMS deacon and all that talking shit about GMS and little girls and all that.
And it's straight because they don't want to see the law. They don't want to accept the law.
Yeah.
Because it's there. It's there plain in black and white for you to read it, man.
But these are the guys that keep saying, keep the law, the law, the law.
Because my question is then, if that situation was to happen, because none of us, let's be real, none of us as fathers, as parents would want that to happen to their daughter. Of course not, right? Of course it's going to be upsetting. But if it happened to you, what would you do? What would you have to do according to the law?
Because the apostles gave the example that in Esau's law, there's a law for that. There's a when it happens, there is a result, and that's basically what we read in Deuteronomy. It's like if this happened in Israel, this is how you deal with it.
Like, there's things you might want to do,
yeah.
But what things can you do?
Exactly.
Because when Diana was raped, right? Man wanted to roll out on these people, and they did. They did, right? And that's how you feel. That's how you feel, right? That's how you feel in the moment. Because of course, we'd all get mad. You want to do some crazy shit, but what is the lawful way to deal with the situation? Right? And it might not be what you want to do, but that's what you're gonna have to do.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and that's all the elders was bringing it out, and
Yeah,
it
man.
became a big thing because of them. They started getting
Over-exaggerating,
emotional about it.
Because being put in prison is not an option. It wasn't there in the scriptures. Killing a man is not an option. That's not there.
But it's
Why-
like,
why
why
does-
are you not getting super emotional when we bring out Leviticus 20 and 13?
Yeah.
There you go.
Because and it's the same principle because, like, okay, if let's, Lord forbid, yeah, let's say your son's a homosexual, can you kill him?
No, you can't.
No, you can't. But what does the scripture say?
You can.
Okay, but are you gonna kill him?
No.
And if a
Well,
brother in
no, no,
GMS
no,
killed his son for being gay,
Yeah.
we gotta disown that dude.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what are you doing?
We're not in the right system.
But the thing is, yeah, all these men were demonized. They would. But they know that they know that law perfectly.
Yeah, that's
They
what I'm
know
saying.
if we used to do that, you demonize it, you know you would.
Yeah,
You would.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like for you,
You know?
see, so for you then to that, we're just bringing out what's in the law and how it's going to be kept. And it's not even, the main thing that we talk about. You bring out more than us.
Yeah.
Whenever you guys come up to a GMS camera and you're getting beat down in the spirit,
Yeah,
that's the
only
first
thing
thing
they
that
do.
you're going to draw.
Because you like it to demonize us, man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because it empowers you.
And even in Esau's law, he has age of consent. Why does Esau have age of consent if there's not a law on raping in society? Even Esau knows that. That's why he has a little law of age of consent.
And you can't even put a man that does that in this world to death.
Exactly. You even had who put the article up of that young Irish girl, she's like 13 or something. Yeah. And her boyfriend's 14 and they just had a youth.
Yeah, it's just
And
that.
that's how the Irish travelers are, the gypsies, and that they do that from young. They grab up their wives and all that. They actually call it grabbing and all that. And they actually grab them up and then they wife them from a young age, from like puberty, from like 13, 14 years old. They're going to jail. I don't see them getting locked up in jail.
I got something. It says Matthew 11:6, and blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me.
That's what it is. You gotta stand for what the scriptures say. But these guys evidently
Eat the whole role, by the whole book.
Yeah,
right. But you got one camp talking about the law, but then when it comes to that law, they don't want to deal with it. And then you got ITPK, they're no cowards, but they ain't brave enough to deal with that scripture the correct way. And it's not that hard to deal with, man. It is what it is. It's called bride kidnapping. It happened in the ancient world, and in the kingdom of heaven, it can happen again. Because we're going to be ruling by the law. So if that happened under our rulership in the kingdom of heaven, and it came before our court, how would you judge it? You got to judge it according to the law. So what you'd say? Listen, man, you got
Not by emotions, not by feelings.
emotion. You got to pay the father
dowry,
the dowry, and you can't divorce this woman, man. That's going to be your wife. man.
Because what's the main thing we're trying to avoid here? Adultery.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep a society intact without all this madness going on, because that's what you don't want, you know?
Kind of like
it's
if you
bigger
break
than you.
if you break it, you buy it kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
these dudes, they get super emotional, man, and they, like I said, they're using it against us. But then they're meant to be the super Hebrews. These dudes are meant to be the elite Hebrews of the Hebrews, super warriors, and all this stuff, man. You need to do some press ups in the scriptures, man. You know what I'm saying?
I can say real quick, what they don't understand is Esau doesn't care when he comes to the demonization. They can't then be like, no, that was just GMS. Esau's gonna paint everyone with the same brush, man. So here it is, they're trying to demonize us, not understanding that Esau's gonna use it against them.
Hey, on the Project Begino list, right? It just says Black Hebrew Israelites. That's what it says. It don't have all these different sects, It don't. Right? So the Esau literally under one scope. That's it.
And them guys pushing the bravado,
John
black
7
and
and 16.
us being black Hebrew Israelites, all this other shit we ain't trying.
They're like, we're moving away from it.
Yes.
We're evolving and moving away, and the word evolve means to unfold. We're unfolding away from just using the term black because it's very, at first it makes sense, but now we're moving away. It's better even to say people of color.
That's it.
Because black is just so ambiguous, and it's so putting people in a box that Esau created. It's not real.
Yeah.
Just say people of color, but there's various tribes among our people, man, and that's the reality of the situation, man. You got all different tribes, man. But if you keep going black, you're kind of marginalizing what this truth is really all about.
And all that documentary shit, it's giving Esau an excuse. But when he comes down on us, he's got a lot of evidence to fall back on.
Inside the black.
Like, say these guys are black militias. Look at them. They got guns. Safari holding guns.
Because
you guys are idiots, man.
the dude that was so at risk of his life.
We're not black hate group, man. I detest the idea. Every group of people has someone that they hate. right? Why is it that the so-called Jew is allowed to hate Nazis?
Yeah.
Why is the so-called Jew? I'm gonna just say it straight. Who has ever said to a so-called Jew can get on YouTube or go on anyway and say all the shit he wants about Nazis? They could talk all the shit they want about the Palestinians. They could openly come out and say they hate Palestinians right now, yeah? And ain't nobody calling them a hate group.
Yeah.
So fuck all that shit. At the end of the day, there's no such thing as a love group or a hate group.
Yeah.
Every people has things they hate
Enemies,
and things
bro.
they love. They have enemies,
Yeah,
man.
enemies.
Stop playing all these games, man, and these labels trying to marginalize people to one point of view. We're not a hate group. The Bible says this. Can we get love down?
Yeah.
We love
Well, they were just bragging on the
and we hate.
they were just bragging on
We
the
show
news.
great restraint.
They were just bragging on the news like yesterday and the day before about killing the Hamas leader.
Yeah.
They was bragging
You
about
got
that.
that John 7?
And that was nothing but hate.
John 7 first.
That was nothing but hate. But that, the war's not going to stop just because they killed the so-called leader.
You say love, get the love the
Workers no ill.
no,
Romans 13.
that's a good
Love
scripture
the
as
good,
well.
hate the evil.
This our doctrine is a balanced doctrine. Our doctrine is love and hate, and the love is directed where it needs to be directed. And sometimes people think when we're even our people, when we're rebuking our people, they think that's hate, and it's not. It's really love. The scripture says, "Open rebuke is better than secret love."
Yep.
Right. But with Esau, Edom, of course we're gonna hate Esau, man. Of
Yeah.
course, like, but that doesn't make us a hate group. That doesn't mean that our doctrine is only about hate.
We're supposed to have enemies. Nations have enemies, man.
Come
The
on.
Lord said to hate your enemies. There's nothing
Well,
wrong
then the
with that.
so-called Jew can't hate this Nazi then.
Exactly.
Because if he hates the Nazi, then maybe the so-called Jew is a hate group, isn't it?
There's that running joke about how the English hate the French.
Yes,
Scots
like,
hate the
what are we doing?
Everyone hates them.
They hate us.
Yeah.
You got the Democrats, they hate the Republicans. The Republicans hate the Democrats because they've set them up like that. The Republicans are not called a hate group. The Democrats are not called a hate group. You go to some of them rallies, you see these Democrats and Republicans interacting. They literally hate each other.
Yeah.
You have families that are broken up over Trump and Kamala.
Well, you saw the Piers Morgan the other day. They talk about gender hate and all that, hating on women and misogyny, and women hating on men. Like everything's about hate. You know, that's the bravado of the earth right now. It's
Yeah.
vibration.
Oh, GMS hate women. How can we hate women? That's dumb. So we just that's ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous.
We're gonna bring back the kingdom.
Oh, we hate wars, bro. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I'm saying. They're trying to oversimplify things. How can you just hate a gender by the virtue of being a gender?
That's stupid.
That's how it's dumb. There has to be more to it than just we just. So as long as a baby girl is born, we just hate, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, fucking got a vagina. I hate it. No, it's just stupid. Just like, why would you? It's just ridiculous, man. But that's why we just need the missiles to come, because this whole world is kind of childish in the way people view it. No, we hate the evil and love the good, and we rebuke.
This is the book of St. John 7:16. Yahushua answered them and said, "My doctrine is not mine, but is that sent me."
Right, Yahushua came with a doctrine that wasn't his own, but that's the doctrine that he gave to his disciples to teach. A specific doctrine that shouldn't be changed or flipped around. And the important thing is that doctrine didn't involve soup kitchens and driver's licenses and all these community programs that ICPK think makes them righteous and better than anyone else. You could do that if you want, but that's not really what the purpose. The purpose of the ministry isn't to teach man how to read and all this stuff. There's programs out there where people can do all that stuff. What makes us unique is we're here to edify your soul according to the doctrine which is in Yahushua. That's what makes us different to everyone else. But these men are putting that on the sideline and trying to push everything else forward because they're 501c3 charter groups. The truth don't really matter to them. The name of the Lord don't matter to them. None of that matters. That's why they signed the 501c3 charter when they didn't need to do all that. And the proof that you don't need to do all that is GMS.
Yep.
Because we got groups, camps all over the globe, and none of us need to sign up with the government anywhere. None of us are worrying about being tax exempt. Because we don't need to be tax exempt to come out here and teach the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Yeah.
I don't need to teach no one how to drive. Bro, I'll advise a brother of certain things, and I'll show them where they need to go to do those things. But I'm really here to teach this word.
Well, Yahweh Shai, you said Yahweh Shai when he was teaching the disciples, they didn't have a charter with the Roman government. They was speaking against the Roman government, man. That's why
They couldn't set up nowhere.
Yeah, that's
They
why they
couldn't
got
set up.
chased out of the city. They got put, in Acts the 5th chapter tells you they got put in jail because they wouldn't stop speaking about Yahweh Shai. It said stop pulling this man's name.
They were being run out of places.
They was getting run out of places, man, because they wasn't down with the government. You had the Sanhedrin, the Scamhedrians and all that, the wicked scribes and Pharisees. They was part of the government. They had seats through the government. And they didn't want to leave they didn't want to lose their seat. That's why they came up against Yahweh Shai. And had him crucified and all that, right? Went to fight. So it shows you the distinction. You don't have to have a charter with the government to push this truth. The whole point of us pushing this truth is we're against this world, against this system, and against these governments. So why would we align ourselves and have a charter with them?
Because don't they also ask for your legal name at IUIC?
All of that,
Because that's kind of like
COINTELPRO, man.
you're trying to like basically almost like count everyone.
It's counterintelligence. They're incorporated with the government, man.
Sick, man.
But then they took all this no coward stuff. So how are you a militant? This is why it don't make no sense. You're so militant and so like, but you're sitting there filling out documents with the government, and then as soon as the government told you to run, go take a job, you run, go take the job. But you some brave like rebels. Well, don't sound like you're rebellious to me. You moving like the Maroons. That's how the Maroons all try and pull the wool over people's eyes like they were super rebellious and they didn't want to follow Esau. That's a lie. The Maroons was working with Esau.
You think you can teach in a safe environment, man, because you're under the government umbrella, you know, and you can get the benefits, the goodies of being under the government umbrella, you know. Read this quick. Isaiah 28, verse 15. Because you have said we have made a covenant with death, you made a covenant with so-called white man, with Esau. Like he's not really trying to destroy you, man. Like he's here to help you because he's going to save you some pounds or some dollars, you know.
Where's your faith then?
Exactly.
That shows you guys ain't got no faith.
But you know you're restricted in what you can and can't say and what you can and can't teach. You know that. And you're just really playing Esau's agenda.
Yep.
That's why you're doing this dumb shit like Bamps and whatever, man. That's why you're stupidness.
Yeah.
Because Esau's allowing you to do it, man. Because it's crazy. It causes this confusion, man, and this anti-Hebrew sentiment that you're trying to paint. You know.
And when the sea hit comes out, man, and that's made mandatory, all you guys are gonna start, basically dancing to Esau's tune again. You're gonna be promoting it. You're gonna be telling Jake to go and take it. It's not the
clergy response.
Clergy response team, Romans 13. Because you guys are a bunch of shields, man.
Yep.
You're not the true followers.
You sold out. You've been bought.
Yeah, you've been compromised, man. Just like you got the entertainers in the entertainment world, they've been compromised. They've been bought and paid for. Politicians bought and paid for. Same thing with Israel, man.
Or do you think you're playing the system? Is that what you really think? You really think you're playing the system? But then if that's what you're doing, or if that's what you think you're doing, what's really happening is that you're being corrupted by money, man. Because money is your sole purpose of running these things now.
Yeah.
You know?
Their God is their belly.
Exactly. He says, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at an agreement. Right? When the overthrown scale shall pass through, the martial law, all that shit's will be going down, right? It shall not come unto us. Right? Because Nate's probably been given, that when it all goes down, you're gonna be cool, we're gonna set you up after this and that. But that's a lie. They're gonna take out these leaders of these different groups. Yeah. That's part of the plan. Yeah. It's the King Alfred plan and all that kind of stuff. That's part of it. They can't have you running around, man, with that kind of influence. Yeah. You know, that's the danger to them.
You're one of the first ones they're gonna grab up, man.
All these Farrakhan's and all these types of dudes, man, they're going.
You're already on the red list. Endorsed Trump.
You're already on the red list, man. Yeah. Nate and all you guys. They don't matter. You sell out. You think you're gonna be all right when all hell breaks. They don't care, man. They're gonna come after you, your family, everyone, man. Yeah. That's why you're never supposed to make deals with the devil, man. The 12-team bargains with the devil never work out, man.
Look at certain of the leaders of the world that made bargains. There's pictures of Gaddafi and them, Hillary and them.
Even Esau complains. Esau doing Esau dirty, man. They complaining.
Yeah.
Esau can't be trusted. We know this, man. Never trust our enemy. We know this.
So that 501c3 charter as well, it also allows you to get access to investment as well.
Yeah.
So like that's how them churches can go and take out loans charity in order to build buildings, schools and all these different things.
They're actually like legal charities.
Yeah.
IUIC is actual charity.
It's a charity organization.
That's why you keep promoting all this shit. You keep selling things. You know, you got the charities.
They're a church.
Yeah.
They're
So
running the same
you can
camp.
even loan the money through their company, because that's what Esau does with these charities. Washes dirty money. Charities and shit.
They're crazy, man.
You guys are this, you're on the wrong side of the fence, man. You think you're fooling people, but the only ones you're fooling is yourself, man.
Well, this is it. You took that wrong side of the fence, right? It goes on to say, overflowing score shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood we have hid ourselves. You think you fit the winning side with Esau, because you don't really believe Yahweh Shai coming back, man. You really don't really believe that, man. You think you're going to be here, and so you got to build for here. No. That's the wrong mentality.
They want to build supermarkets and
and he's going to protect your investment. No, he ain't gonna do that, man.
That stuff, man. They're trying to build Judea, man. That's not what we're here to do. We're meant to be building up Jerusalem in a different way, like the brother was saying, through these scriptures, through sticking to the doctrine that Yahweh Shai gave us and preaching that doctrine. And then the ones who come in are called out by this word. They're not trying to come in because we can give them some food programs or teach them how to read and all this stuff, man. They're coming in because they believe in Yahweh Shai. They believe in the doctrine that we're teaching, man. And that's that sincerity. That's what this thing is all about. It's not about generating money and generating profit and charities and all that kind of stuff. No, the charity goes into this word.
Oh,
man.
the charity begins with your word.
A labor of love. I'm not getting
Someone get Ephesians 4 as well. You not always got to bring that out. You got to bring it back to the basics of what this thing is. It's grassroots, built up from the bottom, and very basic. Whenever you see man's overcomplicating it, that's when you know they're bringing in extra stuff. The way the apostles run this thing is very simplistic because our goal is very simplistic. It's very simple. We have the doctrine, teach the doctrine. That's it. Keep it simple. Get a camera. You ain't trying to tell you to get a 4K camera. All that stuff is unnecessary, superfluid.
All they need to do is hear the word.
Oh, you brothers have to buy a camp starter kit. No, the only thing we need to know is man ready to really be out there in the streets and teach? And if you're ready to be out the streets to teach, then yeah, and you can put GMS in your name and go do it. And then now you're under these orders and this administration, but it's very free flowing. There's no unnecessary bureaucracy and all this stuff that these men are dealing with. Well, you come into the live stream lesson, you got to make sure that you sign up and you register. Ain't nobody got to register to get this truth. You watching right now, we don't need to know who you are or where you're from. Just learn.
I was gonna say, it's not like the idols and apostles, Apostle Tyron on down, right? None of them micromanaging us, man. You know what I'm saying? Nate wants to go on everything. He wants to tell you exactly what you got to do this way, that. No, if you're given this word, man, it's you and the Lord now.
And as long as you keep it simple, you ain't gonna go wrong anyway.
That's it.
Because we're doing what we've seen. You do your sit downs, and you do your street speaking, and you're studying. It's very simple. The simplicity which is in Yahweh Shai. And as long as you keep it simple, nothing goes wrong. These guys have made it very complicated. You got debates, now they're getting paid for debates and cookouts and it's all complications where it wasn't necessary.
And that's leaven.
Yeah.
A little leaven left with the whole lump.
Yeah. It's Matthew 10 and 8. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, lay the dead, cast out devils. Who you have received, who will give.
Yes, and now we're doing that in the spirit by just teaching His word, man. And a lot of people are receiving it.
Yeah.
But these men don't want to lean on the word, and this is where it comes back to even what we said before. That's why we don't try and dress up this truth for nobody. We're not trying to market this truth for no one, man. My name ain't P Diddy, okay? No. I ain't who is these music icons. My name ain't Eddie Hearn. Yeah, if you want to bring it to boxing, my name ain't Frank Warren. Yeah, okay. Then man have to dress it up. Yeah. Make sure you talk this way, AJ. AJ, we're gonna take you here. We need to get people to like you. We need you to do this and do that. That's what they do with them rappers. You know what, man? Your bars is tight, but you know what, man?
Need more.
We need you to start talking like this. We need you to start acting like this. Start this beef with this person because this is the target market that we're trying to. Guess what? We ain't got a target market. We just got the pure, unadulterated truth. We're gonna push that out there, whether the camera's 4K or 720. don't matter to us whether we camera ain't working and we just gotta record the voice.
Audio, yeah.
It don't matter, man. As long as we can get the purity of the doctrine to the people,
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah, that's it, man.
We don't need the bells and whistles, man.
Yeah.
Matthew 3 and 8. Bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance.
And that's the power of the word.
Yeah.
The word does all the sifting and all that, man. We're just the vocals that the Lord's using, the audio that the Lord's using, but the word is the one, like the scripture says, like the Lord, one man planted and the Lord, water it. Yeah. The Lord and the word and the web, the internet, the World Wide Web does the heavy lifting, man. That's why we don't have to travel nowhere. Right now where we are, we're in a local area and all that. But this word is trying the four winds of the earth right now as we speak. So we don't have to jump in no fucking bow and jet.
And we don't have to do what another thing these guys do, which is what they do in the world, right? They purposely try and be abrasive, purposely try and seek out controversy for the purpose of views.
Intention. Yeah.
Right? We don't need to do that. And people used to think we do that, but we don't.
No, we don't, man.
Contention used to come to us, like you get some black woman that there was this idea, like for instance, if you get a black woman that used to come up to the camp, she just kept it quiet and kept it moving, we didn't just try and trigger her like you know how the man doing them like fresh and fit and them man someone. We ain't trying to trigger. All right, cool sister, cool, we can't bring out the word. We carry on teaching what we're teaching, whatever the topic in the spirit we're going into, whether it's like Daniel's statue or whatever it is, and bring it out in the spirit.
Like, because you had that famous video of GMS and World Star Hip Hop, the Yardie woman.
Yeah.
Judgment, but we didn't force that.
No,
she came up scoffing with her two little demons, come up scoffing, and that's how it went out. It went viral. That was some of the scriptures.
We don't. A lot of men, they come in this thing from an entertainment point of view.
Entertainment.
When they see the videos, like, man might crash out over an Edomite, start punching up. That's why we don't even want to be involved in it.
Make them bow down before you.
Yeah. You make them bow down or purposely try and cause some kind of interaction because you know it's gonna get views. No, on purpose. Sometimes you want to make it boring as hell. Those are the best videos. That's what filters out the trash. You know when you just sit down and you just going into prophecy.
Yeah.
You're doing it like that. You're doing an algorithm.
Like
the algorithms, all the videos the apostles used to do. There's plenty of videos. They're just going into history. Okay, get me that. Okay, this is what happened with Alexander.
Parts and all kinds of things. All that madness, man. It's like you can't sit through that. It's not serious.
But you know what, man? The guy that weeds out the people that are not there to actually be edified and learn properly, because all they want to see is the video and the white man there, and he's getting attacked.
Remember when the Irish lads came? That video got like 80,000 views or something like that.
Jay love
they love that controversy, and these guys, they love to create that controversy. That's why they go out there with the big thing and they're shouting at people, and
that's why he was going church busting and all that. Going to all these different churches trying to round
they're seeking out the controversy. We ain't trying to seek all that. Sometimes you got to be boring.
Yeah, man.
And most of the time, that's the best way to be, because when you're doing videos that's boring, that means the people that's actually sat there and spent time are sincere, that they actually want to learn, they want to be edified. And that's the ones that actually end up learning the scriptures.
Yeah.
Because if all you want to hear is fuck the white man this and blah, 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 and all that stuff, you don't get all, which is a part of the you're not going to get the fullness, man.
You're never going to see GMS going on marches. We ain't going to go on no church blitzes. And none of that stupid shit, man. You're gonna see us at no conventions because we're not. That's not what this truth's about, man.
That's a worldly mentality.
That's for the world, and we're not here to save all Israel. We're here for the elect, and elect is a very small number. So once you have that understanding, you limit yourself on who you're trying to. You basically expose this truth to.
Remember that time where they were them ISUPK man, they were dealing with them GMS brothers, and then that sister, these brothers say they will rape you. They hate black women. I'm like, what's wrong with you, my nigga? Yo, are you for real? Bro, you think that's going, what are you doing, man? What are we doing here? Like, is that the doctrine now? They hate black women. Start shouting on the mic.
It's 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 2. For our rejoicing is this, the testimony of our conscience, that in simplicity and godly sincerity, not with fleshy wisdom, believing that you got to do all these gimmicks to kind of sell yourself is a worldly wisdom thing, right? To gain a change, because you need the attention of these different markets to be able to think. but the elect is not a market like
Yeah.
that you find in any particular place. The market is literally just the word. The elect are going to hear it wherever they are, right? So we haven't got to do this particular thing or that particular thing to draw them in. We ain't got to do that, right? It's not a requirement, right? It says, but by the grace of God, we have had our conversation in the world and more abundant to you would.
Yeah, we just cast out the spiritual net. Just cast out the net, man. The Lord will do the rest, man.
No, yeah, you stick. The apostles always taught us stick to the scriptures as closely as possible, and you can't do no wrong. Now, I'll give you an example of how proud these ISUPK guys are. Remember the whole thing happened with Will Smith, and which we were smart enough to understand that the whole thing was fake, because we're on a. It just is what it is. GMS, we're not on the same level as the average Negro that see every fucking thing on the TV and then bite on it and get triggered. I instantly understood that whole thing was fake, innit? It's all psychological operation, right? But these guys bit on it, hook, line, and sinker. Like Will Smith went up there and just slapped him, and they even had a TV program that it was a movie where that happened, isn't it? There's a movie where there was the exact same scene of a guy going up on stage and slapping a comedian the same way. It was all anyway. When that happened, the ISUPK given his spiritual insight on the. So sometimes you might speak on it as if it's real to give spiritual insight.
Yeah.
Did he say, well, you know what, in that situation, my man should have just turned the other cheek? You know what I mean? And be spiritual. It's not everything you got to get carnal with. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to turn the other cheek. As a man of the Lord, you learn that a lot of Jake, if they understood that, they wouldn't be in jail right now, or they wouldn't be in certain situations if they were just to learn that, you know what, man, I don't need to resort to violence at this point. Let him have that and I'll pray about it. Sometimes you got to let the Lord fight your battles, man. Sometimes you be at work and a man violate you. And yeah, we coach brothers on how to deal with things according to the employment law, which is the good way to deal with things. Right, but sometimes it's not even worth all that.
It might not make your ego feel good, but it keep your job.
Yeah.
You know,
but sometimes you ain't even want to go through all that. You really just want to punch the dude up. But really, you should just say, listen, man, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is gonna deal with you, and learn how to leave things in the Lord's hands and stay on your purpose, man. Because Satan, if you're that type of person that's always gonna emotionally react to everything people do, Satan will use that to draw you out. So you gotta learn how to stay within yourself at sometimes and let the ego go. I thought that's what they would have done.
Yeah.
Bring out some spiritual anything. Go on.
So Sirach 4:28, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee.
Yeah. Just stick to the truth, right? Stick to the truth. Let the Lord fight your battles. Sometimes you gotta let things go. Sometimes you ain't
for wisdom, man.
Yeah, it's wisdom.
Deal with certain situations.
Man disrespect you. You ain't always got to go and punch a man in the face. Sometimes I'll let you have that then. All right, cool.
Especially knowing Jay, because Jay, they may not like you get punched up, and then they're coming around with straps.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta know how to let things go. But anyway, his spiritual advice was what he should have done. What did he said he should have basically befriended Jada and then fuck Jada. I don't think him. What?
What's the wisdom in that?
That sounds like some nigger advice.
Yeah.
That sounds like someone, no one who's in the spirit
never say something like
would say something like that. Get the carnal mind as enmity. That's you got that? Yeah.
It's a book of 1 Corinthians 2, from
and he's a main speaker because he was up there like giving advice to all the. That's destruction.
Yeah.
And he said it casually.
He said it like, and no one that was
that's a natural thing to do.
There was other officers there sitting there, and I would have been like, yo, hey, yo, that's crazy, yo. I didn't know he was gonna say that, yo. Cut the
That just shows you them guys are a bunch of zombies, right?
But they were like,
followers, man.
1 Corinthians 2 and 12 we start. Now we have received not the spirit of the world.
That's something a nigga in the world would say. That is
revenge.
Yeah, that get revenge by any means necessary, even if it's wickedness.
Oh, no.
That's not the spirit of the Lord.
No way.
This whole get back spirit. That's that whole, that happened. The brother posted that today. The guy killed the guy's baby mama because the guy killed his brother and all that stuff. That's wicked. You ain't supposed to do that. The scripture tell you ain't supposed to. Whoever did the crime, they're the ones that's supposed to pay for it, not their uncle or their cousin or their baby mama or whatever the case may be. But Jake do that. That's a known thing. Jake can't get to you. That's a known thing. Among Benjamin, that's known. If you're in jail and the man can't get to you in jail, they'll get your mother, your auntie. They don't give a fuck. They're gonna make you hurt and still get you after. But that's not the kind of advice a man of the Lord would give someone.
Never, man. Imagine you think Yahweh Shah would ever utter those words.
Your answer is to commit adultery.
Yeah, man. That's wickedness, man. What are you talking about?
Did they ever do nothing apology?
No. That guy should have got burnt at the stake. Man. I'm joking, but he should have been either kicked out because really, to be on that level, because I know in ICPK they don't just have anyone.
No, you got to work your way up. That's a real nigga university.
Yeah,
that's what they learn.
You got to come up in the ranks and all that.
Yeah, that's crazy. If that's the kind of thing you do to do it, I don't want to be around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That even in that documentary exposed that you guys, even Captain Daria, you guys ain't spiritual. You guys are the straight. That's insane. You guys are animals, man. You got brute beasts.
I wouldn't even expect a new brother in the camp to say something that's
wild,
crazy like
bro.
that. That's wild. That's like, bro, you acknowledging that that's the man's wife, and you're saying man should go fuck his wife.
That's
an open and shut case.
Yeah. That means that's in your heart.
That's in your heart.
That's what you would. That's what you would. Because he said that. What I would. He said that. What I would do is.
You would do that chest with 10 toes down, and he didn't even think about it after. Like, hold on, that's adultery. You know? That's literally one of the 10 commandments, my brother.
That means it's words not in you, man.
No, it's not.
Not in you.
The brother had it.
Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of Most High.
There's no way you can talk about having sex with another man's wife and claim that you're in the spirit of the Most High. And further to the point is, you were meant to be given advice. You said if this is saying, if what's his name again? Rick Ross Cross. What's that name? What's the nigga name that Chris Ross? I was getting all kind of syllables mixed up. Yeah. If Chris Rock, came to you for counsel, you said that is what you would have counseled him. Yeah? That's insane. And even a wicked ass preacher in the church wouldn't have even a Catholic priest that just came from getting fellatio from one of the altar boys. As demonic as that Catholic priest is, if you went up into that confessional and asked for counsel, even he, the seed of Satan, wouldn't have given such a counsel. That's insane.
Even in the appearance of being holy or
bro, that's the kind of counsel you get from 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Like, and Ja Rule and them niggas there. Pookie. You don't get that kind of, I don't think there's any spiritual leader that's pretending to be a spiritual leader that would openly say that would be my counsel. My counsel would be go to his house, befriend his wife, and then sleep with his wife because he slapped me on stage.
Yeah. I don't even think that's in the 48 laws of power, man.
That ain't even in the Talmud. That ain't even in the Talmud.
That's great. Because then as well, in the way he said befriend, that's basically saying be premeditated.
Exactly.
Seduce.
That nigga on some
basically he's told to become Satan.
Seduce this woman. Method acting Satan. Man's literally coming like Macduff. Like the 3 witches from Macduff. That's what he embodies, man.
And even if you had like a nigga relapse, man, you into that worldly nigga mentality, man. Hey man, you should be fucking abusing yourself,
because
man.
You should have already been consulting the scriptures in the spirit before what came. Because there's no scripture to back up what he said.
No.
There's no scripture that backs up the counsel that he gave. So where's your counsel coming from? Your counsel.
These other camps, they do this a lot, man. They just say things, and there's no scripture to back up what they say.
Bro, that was wild. That should already let you know that the spirit of IUCPK is out. Because let me tell you this for free. If a brother in GMS had ever said that, he would have been, that probably wouldn't even have been a suspension. I can guarantee you that would have been a call, and you would probably, as a head, be suspended for not kicking him out straight away. Like, just for not kicking him out, and man, you have to be told he had to be kicked out. You might have to hold a suspension just for, like, what is you doing? Where's your judgment at? I couldn't even imagine calling the elder. What should I do with him?
Yeah.
What should you do with what? You just tried to advise the whole world. This is the counsel that you should give to someone. So if someone punches you at work, so we can extrapolate on that.
Yeah.
If someone violates you, fuck his wife. That's insane.
But that's what legit niggas in the world do. Yeah.
Yeah, niggas in the world would do that.
Yeah, that's that rapper stuff. Hey, I'm with your girl. I got a video with your baby mom.
Yeah, that's what they promote in the music.
Bro, that is insane. That's insane, man. Go on.
May go on to say, that we might know the things that are freely given to us from of Most High, which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teaches.
That's a man's wisdom. Because that's like, how do I hurt him? How do I hurt this man? Oh, this is what you could do. You could go fuck his wife. Maximum pain. It's like, yo, my dude, it's not about just hurting someone. It's called something called righteousness, righteous judgment.
But it's called, even in the world, they call it karma. What goes around comes around. Like, you don't have to actually react. You leave it, and then something, you know.
But even in the scriptures, right? Yeah, it says eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. A person attacks you, right? But hold on. If someone committed adultery with your wife, was the judgment that you were meant to go and commit adultery with his wife? No, the judgment was you were meant to kill, kill that dude. However, we know we're not in the time of going around killing people. Yeah. So you gotta have patience and hold it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta hold that L.
Yeah.
So what you should have just told Chris Rock is like,
just hold the L.
Hold the L.
Yeah.
If you want to sue him, sue him,
yeah.
Because he's in the world, probably just what he would normally do. Just sue him. And it's over. What the hell? Why did he?
Exactly. He dropped all of the different routes. Like.
Because I was going to say, even in the kingdom, because we're going to be perfect. We ain't going to be committing no sins, so we ain't going to be no adultery in the nation of Israel. But the other nations, this is why we're going to have to teach them the law. So if there's the case that comes, this Elamite slept with another man's wife, we gonna deal with him accordingly.
No, we're gonna say, bring your wife.
Yeah, so he can sleep. We can kill that motherfucker Elamite, kill that bitch, and then he gonna be adjudicated, justified in the law.
So you're gonna commit more sin on top.
Yeah, it don't make sense. You're supposed to get
add sin to sin.
Something real quick.
I love one of them sparkling ones.
You're supposed to. That's how you cut out sin. By dealing with it through the judicial, man, the law, the actual law.
Well, that's insane.
Even in Esau's law, they don't put Esau don't commit that.
Yeah, that's insane.
With a man's wife, you gonna sleep with him. Esau will look at you like strange. The judge will be looking at that. Why did you do that dumb shit? You just made the situation worse, man.
That's insane.
Yeah. Got something.
The more I'm thinking about that actually happened, it's insane.
Scripture says, "Render not evil for evil."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you ain't learnt those things. That's like, those people, they read the scriptures, they don't actually learn them.
The basic principles.
They don't embody them, man.
Renewing of your mind, the scripture says.
You got James, a good scripture. Finish that. That's a good scripture. All them scriptures good. Let's bring them out.
We go on to say, but which Holy Spirit?
Was the Holy Spirit on him when he said that?
Holy Spirit.
Was the Holy Spirit on him when he gave that grand and holy counsel to Chris Rock? Because that's insane. So now I gotta ask myself, what the hell you been telling man in the ISCPK to do?
Yeah.
When they come to you, I got a problem at work, my boss. Yeah, fuck his wife.
Mad counsel, bro.
I gotta ask myself, if you said that with Chess on the radio, then what the hell have you been telling man to do in certain situations?
Once again, even the same camera says do it in the butt. So it's it's all messed up.
Insane.
Sexual perversion.
They're just a perverse group. They're a carnal group.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why the scripture says, man, what was it? Jeremiah, he took Jeremiah. Was it Jeremiah? Or was it Ezekiel? And he told them, look what they do. Ezekiel. Yeah, Ezekiel. And it was like what they were doing behind the temple. They were doing madness. So we ain't surprised if these men are doing, I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if these men are on that Diddy thing. Because I'm just saying, man, you can't put nothing. When men are saying things like that, they don't mean they got a perverse spirit. We don't know where them perverse spirits, how they got in there, where they coming from,
where they leave. Precepts, yeah. There you go.
Comparing spiritual things with spiritual, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit of Most
These
High.
are nothing but natural men, and that's why the spirit can't enter into them, man. You know, they're full of ego and pride and all these kinds of things, and wisdom hateth that, man. So it's never going to embed itself in you, man, for you to be acting according to the spirit. You know?
For they are foolishness unto him.
Yeah, because if we offer a different counsel to what they offer, they're like, why? No, you need to get the get back. Our counsel will be foolish, man. What do you mean turn the other cheek?
Yeah, just
They wouldn't be able to handle that. No, I can't do that. You got to get the get back, man.
you weak. You weak.
Yeah, you're weak.
weak.
You know?
First of all, I'll be reprimanding man for not putting his hands up. Man. You're supposed to protect yourself at all times. I ain't let a nigga walk all the way from over there.
Yeah,
slap
I mean, like, something's got to go down now, innit?
Well, that's how you know it was all fake.
He's come a
you know what I
long
mean?
way.
That's how you know it was fake. You let a man walk all the way from over there and do wind up some big slap and actually hit you, man. You would have, what the.
Yeah.
Even when your mother, you know,
Hey, Will Smith was replaying the Ali movie, innit, man?
yeah. I remember one time my dad, I opened the door one time, like my dad was there with a stick, yeah, and he immediately went with, bro, obviously, man, and he didn't even walk up. He was just, oh shit. Had to block that.
Basically, Will Smith sucker punched him essentially, and didn't knock him out.
Yeah,
That's mad.
it's a joke, man. But anyway, the point is that council was completely off, and not only did he give that, he said he would give that counsel, but the ISUPK dons that heard it didn't say nothing. And Johanna or Cesaria and none of them other generals, they should have phoned in straight away, like, yo, whoa, man, no, we need to correct that immediately.
Yeah.
But there was no correction. The show just carried on like nothing happened. Yeah. Meanwhile, brothers in GMS was we were like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is this? This ain't a problem.
Because now you're soliciting. Brother does you wrong in the truth now. That you can do something like that, man. Because that's on the table, apparently. But then what's that gonna do? That can destroy your congregation.
If he turned around and said, "Bro, he ain't the truth," I was saying that because he ain't in the truth. That makes you even more of a demon. So now you're saying that you have a different counsel for someone who's in the truth that's not in the truth. So then how will you be a bearer of the light of Yahweh Shai? You see, that's like me going to, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but I'm giving dudes advice in the world that, yeah, man, you should go. It's like, but hold on, like, you're meant to be a bear. The scripture said that man is supposed to see your good works and praise your Father in heaven. So even when you slice it, like, what are you doing? How can you be encouraging the wicked to do wickedness, but then put the garment on and then talk about?
And the scripture says we're ambassadors for Yahweh Shai. When we're out in the world, right? That's why you can scroll the scriptures. The apostles push basically, like, you know, we live this truth. But when we're out in the world, no one's supposed to be saying anything bad against us because we're representing Yahweh Shai when we're out in the world.
Bro, obviously, listen, I've been around niggas in the world, niggas I'm cool with, and they've told me some adulterous ass shit. I never said to them, yeah, my nigga, yeah. I'll be like, look, bro, I don't think it's good at this. I'll be my favorite thing to say is, you're playing a dangerous game. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna go full biblical on man, like, because I'm at work and shit, you know. But man, every time I'm like, bro, you're playing a dangerous game, man. I don't think that's a good idea. Like, you know, I'm still trying to advise man that, right? You know, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, bro, hey, go around there tonight, make sure you beat in what? Like, come on, man. Like, no, you never give people that kind of advice, man.
That's death.
And it come to the point where I remember some mans will come to me and go, you know what, man, I like to ask your advice because you give man good advice. Like, yeah, because I'm not gonna give man them nigger advices.
It's to please man's ego.
Nigger advice is to get you put in jail, get you killed, get you missile, get him.
It leads to all of the above.
That's what he was giving man, the missile advice. How to get a missile for dummies. Like chapter 1. Fucking man's wife.
But once again, go on that point, you would have had a brother in that congregation that would have heard that and was in a similar situation where you felt hurt.
You want to do the same thing?
Especially if it was someone it was got hurt by someone in the world and he already knew that the woman was adulterous. He would have, that was a green light, go do it.
You would never sign off some shit like that.
Nah,
ever. That's insane. They say man be getting kicked out and all that kind of shit, man. What be going on, man?
That's why you gotta be careful in this truth, man. Certain guys ain't supposed to be picking up this Bible and breaking down.
Yeah, but you know what? Man? Pride
pride, all of that, man.
arrogance, and you're just speaking of yourself. You're not taking any care to the words that's coming out of your mouth.
Dangerous, man.
When you come out here and you teach, yeah, you know, sometimes we have fun with it, you know, because we, you know, we express ourselves. But what I'm not gonna do is forget that I'm here again.
Yeah.
What we've been saying the whole time.
It's all responsible.
So,
man.
yeah, we got to be responsible with what you've been given.
Yeah.
There's a doctrine that we got to teach, and you can't change that doctrine for yourself.
Yeah.
Like telling people it's okay to wear fitted caps when they're teaching
Yeah,
because your
well,
head, because your head top's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can I-
There's more on that, isn't it? Oh, you're still more.
Yeah.
But the natural man receive not the things of the Spirit of Most High, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritual descent.
Yeah, so the comment that that guy made, he's being in the spirit of a natural man. If
Yeah.
he will turn around and say, "Oh, your advice is weak. This is what you're supposed to do. Go and sleep with his wife." That's what a real man does, you know, because he's in that natural man spirit,
He
being
didn't
a
even
brute beast.
discern what he was saying was adultery.
No,
Didn't care.
because they're carnal, man.
That's carnal as hell.
It's
Like,
they're
hold
not
on.
spiritual. They're carnal, man.
No one even said, "Yo, hey, man, no.
Yeah, that's not
No.
spiritual. advice.
You can't do that." Like,
People in the congregation should have been like, what?
That's not spiritual sound.
That's
You know?
not against the law.
That sounds like some worldly shit.
Yeah.
I was going to say, but he that is spiritual judges all things.
See, he that is spiritual judges all things. So you think like you use your sixth sense, use your third eye, so your pineal, and you go in the spirit and look through the scriptures and see how the Lord will deal with it. Because we've got plenty of examples of how the Lord dealt with things, man.
Hey,
Civil matters and all of that.
Scripture speaks about continuously being occupied in the law.
Yeah,
Those things are meant to be on your mind when you say things.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't say
That's
the
the
wrong
first
thing.
thing that comes to your mind is like the oracle just comes to your mind. The spiritual oracle comes to your mind, and you start thinking on the scriptures.
But before you
how
do
to
a thing,
with it. Yeah,
you have to counsel. You know, you have to counsel within yourself whether that's the right thing to do or not, because you weren't in the scriptures.
that's insane. Spiritual. The more you think about it, it's absolutely insane. You know. But this is an example why we told you that these guys are not right, man.
they're not.
IUIC, ICPK, yeah, there's certain things they teach which are correct, but in the spirit, they're not right. You don't say things like the name of the Lord don't matter. If anyone says to you that the name of the Lord don't matter, that's an individual that's not in the spirit. That should never come out of your mouth. It's not right. I wouldn't feel comfortable saying something like that to somebody.
No.
Just like I wouldn't
People
feel
in the world that
comfortable-
wouldn't say,
Yeah, like-
saying some shit like
But even them Ghanaians and them Nigerians and barking, blood, they be
Yeah.
going hard for the name of Jesus. They keeping Jesus alive, bro. They're pumping him up. Like, what is you doing?
You're
The
fighting
Muslims
for
are
the
going
truth.
hard for their thing, and you're just like, oh, the name of my God don't matter. Like,
Yeah,
nothing. Or you can call him plate yogurt, or whatever. Yo, my nigga, what? It's insane, man. And then guys are counseling a man to commit adultery on radio, proudly, like full chest, like a glitch in the Matrix happened or something, bro. That man went into Twilight Zone. Go on, you gotta get Romans 8 as well. I know you got after what you get.
Yet he himself is judge of no man. For who has known the
Why?
mind?
Why is he saying that? Because you're judging according to the scriptures, rightly. You know, you're not judging off your own mindset. That's why the Lord said, lean not on your own understanding. The only understanding is what to lean upon is of the scriptures, man.
You put another man's blood, and that counsel so deadly. That counsel brings death, guaranteed death to a man and yourself, because you're going to be held responsible for. You know, that man should not have took that counsel, but then you shouldn't have given that counsel. You're responsible. You got blood on your hands, man. That's insane, man. Sorry, like the more I think about it, man, it's getting more insane.
Yeah, it's mad because it spreads. Jake will take that and think, oh yeah, this is the right thing to do, and another Jake will do it.
But that's the whole point of law in the first place. In that nation, so wickedness didn't spread.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Cut it out.
Yeah, you nip it in the bud, man. You can't give that man that counsel, because what's he going to do? How's it going to affect the rest of the nation? Oh, he did it.
And then, hold on, they said GMS hate women, but you're telling the man to go and commit adultery, right? So he's seeking to make that other woman commit adultery too.
for own destruction.
You wouldn't, if you, why would you want her to be part of that,
Yeah,
Steve?
yeah.
It's insane, man. It's insane. Fuck Jada, but I'm saying like,
Just the mentality of it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
principle of it. It's not. It's like, bro, you didn't even give a damn. So yeah, go seduce her. That sound like something Satan would say.
That's what I say. It's
Like that movie Long Legs or something. Bro.
Oh,
That sound like,
Yeah, yeah, long legs.
bro, it sound like Sauron, man. Man's moving like Sauron.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get
Or Hannibal. That's the kind of advice Hannibal Lecter
Yeah,
would
yeah,
give,
yeah.
man. He's just watch your life crumble.
Oh, man.
Yes, yes. There you go, man. That's a Hannibal Lecter advice, man.
Who has known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of a Mashiach.
There you
Yes,
go.
the mind of a Mashiach, Yahweh Shai.
Yeah,
not
how
of
would
this
I want to
world,
give that
man.
advice?
Never, bro.
No.
That's
He
insane.
would have killed that
Yeah,
nigga.
he might. Yeah,
Straight away, would have
might
took the
done-
spirit out of that
he
guy.
might have done that, man.
Yeah, he would have done that guy that's speaking at wicked counsel, man. Straight away.
Proudly too. But that's what happens when you get carried away with with pride, man. The scripture said the beginning of pride is when one's heart turneth away from his maker.
Yeah.
And your heart weren't with your maker when you made that statement, man. There was no fear of the Lord. That was all you, buddy.
Yep.
That was all you.
Caught up in yourself, man.
But that's how
Yeah.
you ICPK.
Yeah, it
That's
starts from the-
IUIC.
it starts from the whole their leadership, man. Because their leadership ain't right, man. You know, as the people are, so is the leader. Leaders
Man,
got
Man, they
Right.
get gassed up with their titles and shit.
yeah, like,
Think they can say anything.
that's why his students,
General
probably-
adulterer. That's it.
yeah, he's ranking under the people underneath, and they got that same mindset as Yohanan, man.
General steal your wife.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead. You got Romans 8. Oh, you had one,
I
didn't
got-
you? Yeah,
yeah,
good, good.
This is from First Peter's chapter 3, verse. I'm not reading verse 8.
General Joe Grind. That's what
It says, finally, be ye all of one mind, right? Now, that's important, right? To be of one mind, we have to be in the same consent. That's why brothers feel the same way about this whole issue, you know. But different cats might feel differently about these different things or whatever. But you know, you got to be of one mind.
But even man. Anyway, go on. It's insane. I just don't even know. I've never heard anyone say nothing like that before. That's a new level of demon.
So yeah, finally, be all of one mind, having compassion. There's no compassion there. One of another, love as brethren, be pitiful and courteous, not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, knowing that ye are here, they are too called that ye should inherit a blessing. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil.
Yeah.
It's not looking good.
That's evil, man. That is the definition of speaking evil. And what's it called? Evil communication. That's
Yeah,
evil communication right there. That's the definition.
Filthy conversation.
Filthy conversation.
Let not filthy communication come out of your mouth,
Yeah,
man.
that is
That's in
filthy
the scriptures.
communication right there.
Yep.
That's insane, man.
That's outside of the law, man. What are you talking about?
But if we
man?
say something, we're the bad guys.
yeah.
They'll start
If you
gaslighting.
If you reprove him,
Yeah.
you're the wicked one. Right? How
They
does that
start
make sense?
gaslighting. Oh, then shut up, rapist.
Yeah. Like, yeah, 'cause we
You
heard
ain't got
that.
shit to say.
We saw the video, and then we did a video counteracting it, and reproving
Shut
the
up,
video.
rapist.
You're gonna say you guys are hating. Shut up, rapist.
Cowards.
You guys are
Yeah,
mad.
cowards. You guys are cowards.
These guys are mad. So let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no
Jake
guile.
is wicked, bro. Jake is fucking wicked.
They man were fully gaslight,
I
man. You know?
know as well.
Like, yo, my nigga, but you just talking about adultery. Fuck that.
Jake,
The generals are here.
Says,
and
let
you
him,
saw the picture. New sword.
Yeah.
That's how them guys are, man.
Oh, these are caricatures, man. They're just characters, man. Well, I wonder when they go home if they act like that in the house and shit.
Isn't it?
no, they
Lions in their own houses, man. Lions.
People probably painting their toenails, man. Women, good.
says, let him eschew evil, stay away from, right? Run from, keep away from, and do good. Let him seek peace.
Yeah, that's not
That's not
peaceful,
peaceful,
man.
man.
That's
That's
not
not
peaceful, man.
That's the current war, man.
That's a feud.
Yeah,
The thing is, when you interact like that among Jake, that's how you get them blood feuds. No, real talk.
Little
Okay,
stuff like that.
put it this way. Let's put that in a setting of any street level gangster shit. Like someone slapped someone on the ends, yeah?
So,
And then to retaliate to that, you went and go fucked his baby moms. Blood. From that, it's gonna escalate to someone getting shanked.
They show you
and
that
then
in all
it's
them
gonna
gangster
someone-
Hold on,
movies.
hold
They
on.
show you that what happened.
Isn't that what kind of happened between fucking Tupac and Biggie?
Oh yeah, he slept
Apparently,
with his-
yeah.
Fuck,
So, and what where that ended up?
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that could end up in a generational
Yeah, man.
gang war based upon your counsel.
you can't come back from that. You could go to war, and it was over false pretenses as well.
Yeah.
And then you managed to go and mash a man's wife.
Because a man might hold a
You can't
slap
come back
here, but he ain't holding that man beat his wife.
never.
So, you know, it's just gonna be bare getbacks.
Yeah, it's just gonna be war after that forever. Till the whole thing's
It's
done.
insane. Because some Hebrew Israelite council.
And that was based upon look at off that whole, because it's the world, Tupac and Biggie, but that started the whole East Coast, West
Yeah,
Coast.
yeah.
That one
So
little
maybe he
incident,
was the one back. Maybe he's the one that was advising man back then.
Yeah. But that's what it can turn into a whole, turn into a whole.
That's that
fucking
Tupac
war.
council. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck your bitch.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Fuck your bitch and the clicky game. All that.
But if that's cool,
Yeah, yeah,
if the Jake, that's cool though. You know what I mean? And you just fucking bugged out, man.
That's crazy. Why has got them Tupac councils?
That's basically what it was.
So let him shoot evil and do good. Let him seek peace and ensue it. The eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil.
Yeah, the Lord will definitely be against you for doing that. You ain't gonna be justified. Oh yeah, well he slapped me, so I fucked his wife. Hey, what? Like what? Lightning and thunder, like straight off, man. Lightning, like. And people probably think we're making this up. Maybe some people think, oh, them guys are no, this is real. All you gotta do is go type in like ICPK Will Smith, because they tried to capitalize on it straight away by talking about it. So you find the video, man. He was wilding. You know?
Saying some wild
Got Romans 8. Yeah, that was wild, man.
Romans 8:5. The they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
And the spirit is the scriptures. So your mind is founded in these scriptures, and the way you think
Supposed to be.
is geared towards these scriptures. That means the principles, the laws, the prophecies, all that is in your mind, and that's how you operate. You operate with that foundation. Whereas people in the world, they don't operate from that foundation. They operate from the philosophies of the world, as well as their own emotions and their lusts, or what they feel like. And that's what drives them every day. That's the basis of what they do. I feel like doing this. Oh, I feel angry, so wrath. And then I'll just kill someone. Like,
But that's a beast.
that's a beast. They're operating on what 50 Cent said, or Jay-Z said, or they watch some podcast with Andrew Tate. And so they're operating based upon that.
Yeah, what Tupac said.
Yeah, Tupac said, like, oh, I grew up off Jada Kiss, like,
Yeah,
on
like,
Styles P.
What would a Tupac done?
Yeah.
What would he do?
And it's not according to the word, and that's what it means to be spiritual. The carnal mind is going to go according to your feelings and what feels right. And yeah, when someone do something to you, right, and this is why women are more susceptible to wickedness, because a lot of wickedness comes from appeasing your own feelings. And sometimes people will let their feelings justify their actions rather than the righteousness of the Most High. So of course, if someone violate you, you might feel like just like AJ, man said he was gonna lick. Man said he might lick the chair outside the boy's head. Sometimes a man might do something slight, and you feel anger in that moment, and you feel like, oh, like, you know, just smash a rock up outside his head, yeah, because it'll make me feel I got this anger in me, the wrath, and so you wanna, yeah, but that's a feeling. That's a feeling within you, and then now you fulfill that feeling. You feel justified. Well, I did it because he made me angry. Yeah, but that's not. There's no justification in that in the law. You couldn't say to a man, "Oh, I was angry, and that's why I did it."
Well, Scripture says, "Be angry and sin not."
Yeah, women do that all the time. A woman feels a certain way, she will operate, and that feeling she had while she was doing what she did is going to be the justification instead of was it right or was it wrong. No, it's all about how they felt in that moment in time. And men too. That's where wickedness comes from. But women even more. What's right or wrong is not based upon how you feel. It's just like sex. Like anyone can be sexually attracted, or you can be turned on. That doesn't justify having sex. Oh, why did you commit adultery? I was turned on, man. I was in the moment. I was feeling myself. Yeah, but that's not a justification. Because you felt like that. Oh yeah, I had to do it. No, you didn't.
It says
You've
Proverbs,
obeyed the carnal.
yeah, he that committed adultery.
Lack of understanding. That's what it means to go by the spirit, because sometimes the spiritual thing to do is not what your feelings are telling you to do. So you have to discipline your feelings, which doesn't feel nice. It doesn't feel nice when you want to do something and you're like, you know, like when you want to, I'm gonna punch someone in the head and you don't. It's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
There's a frustration that comes with it. But sometimes you gotta be spirit, or when you gotta bite your tongue. You
Yeah.
really want to just while out with the
Unleash.
you know.
Yeah, it's even with us in this truth, like we know who our enemy is, we know Esau's the devil, but we ain't gonna go to the down in the street in number 10 and go wait outside for Boris and then
Get my head knocked in.
keep Starmer to go stomp his head in the ground. We're gonna wait until the kingdom, man. Lord said have patience, man.
Oh, that even then with revenge, yeah, the Lord said, "Wait ye upon me,
him.
vengeance mine, saith the Lord."
Yeah, don't
So,
wait till the Lord does
Yeah,
it.
you might feel that wrath within you, but you got to learn how to control it, and that's what it means by being spiritual.
Hey, you don't think Yahushua was angry? Of course he's fucking angry, man.
Yep.
He enjoyed a lot. He had to
enjoyed.
hold it down, man.
Yeah, be
You have to hold it down. And this is the thing I mentioned about, you guys quickly think about what Tupac do, right, in a situation, right? But for us, it's like, what would Yahushua do in this situation?
Spiritual, have patience.
You know, you have to really think about that. Like, what would he counsel? What would he say in that situation?
Jake, listen, man.
He ain't gonna say some madness
There's
like
a lot of situations. Yeah, there's a lot of Jake sitting in jail right now, and when they explain the reason everything happened, and they really go over it in their mind with a clear head, where their emotions have now subsided, it's like it didn't need to be all that.
Yeah.
You have to go escalate.
It didn't have to be all that. But in that moment, it was like, nah, nigga disrespecting me. And you got all these emotions, and your wrath just came out, and that's the carnality.
We see in clips, man. Like family members that blow each other away, like out of anger at the moment, and then crying about it, and just like, what the fuck have I done this shit, like, because they couldn't control their wrath, man.
The carnal mind is that's why it says that the carnal mind is enmity, man, because your feelings are not based upon right and wrong. Sometimes your feelings are just based on external stimuli. Right and wrong is based on the spirit. So you got to go with the spirit rather than your feelings, because sometimes your feelings could be wrong.
Just your hormones raging, basically.
Yeah, like hormones, or you don't like the way someone do something, and that's why judgment is supposed to be measured.
Can I get a quick precept? It's Proverbs 16:32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a seat.
Yeah. All right, it's just like with the thief thing, right? In the law, if you catch a thief while they're breaking in, you can kill them, or if it's nighttime, right? Something like that, I believe in the law. But if you catch them during the daytime and you just catch the thief, you're not supposed to, you've apprehended him. But you might be angry that man put you through all this stress, like, oh, man tried to steal from you. So what do? Grab a fucking pickaxe or something and just take it to the back of his head? Well, guess what? You just committed murder. Yeah, but I was angry and he stole from me. Yeah, but what does the spirit say? Exactly. It's not death. What does the spirit say? But in the moment you were angry. Oh, this nigga put me, I had me chasing him. This is what I'm saying. You gotta go according to the spirit and not according to the flesh. But when you go according to the flesh, anything can go because your emotions can take you anywhere, and your judgment's just all over the place. Which is what that dude did. He judged according to his emotion. Oh, if a man slapped me, oh, how can I hurt him? I need to hurt him somehow. Oh, I know. I should fuck his wife, man, because it will hurt him back. That's emotion, my man. That's not spiritual.
No logic, no wisdom.
The spiritual would say, like, okay, like, oh, the man hit me.
And there's a serious escalation. It's not even equal, like, it's not even equal, like, it's mad.
Bro, it never is.
Not just hitting back.
Because
No,
the flesh doesn't understand. The flesh doesn't understand a judgment. The flesh isn't going to be balanced. When you're angry, you can overdo anything, or that's the reason why it says the carnal mind is enmity, man.
Romans 8:7, because I'll read 6 again. But to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, but it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be.
It can't be, man. If you go based upon your feet, listen, bro, I tell people all the time, man, there's nothing in your body telling you that another man's wife isn't attractive. I'm telling you, like, you will enjoy it. 100% you will enjoy it. Like, no man's ever had sex with another man's wife and it was like, this pussy ain't kicking. Pussy,
So
man.
the demons will start,
Bro, your body is actually designed to enjoy the act of sex. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why the body is so dangerous, because that's why there's a song that says, how could something so
Wrong.
wrong feel so right? It's gonna feel right. You're having
Yeah.
sex.
Then
That's
this
what the
way,
vagina is designed to stimulate your penis, bro.
you're gonna be feeling like you're having the best time of your life.
Do you think there's a difference between a woman who's married's vagina and a woman who ain't married vagina? There ain't no fucking difference. Vagina's vagina.
On you.
But that's why you got to be spiritual, man.
Yeah.
Then the spirit understands the difference.
Yeah. You're having pleasure and unrighteousness.
Proverbs 9:17. Stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant.
That's that. There's a word for that. It's called duper's delight. Duper's delight. You know, right? So you understand about the flesh doesn't understand right from wrong naturally. The flesh only understands this feels good. Stimulus. This feels good. This don't feel good. That's what the flesh understands.
Hunger.
Hunger or I'm full. The flesh doesn't understand that pork. Listen, you could cook pork up nice. And listen, you can make any abomination on this earth tasty. Hella tasty. Eat it all away. Yeah? But there's a dietary law. The dietary law is spiritual. Your body isn't automatically gonna say, oh, that them pork ribs is off.
Yeah, don't gel well with me, like.
No, that's why half of us grew up eating pork ribs. And don't lie, you fucking loved it. Because your mom probably knew how to cook it up the right way, stuff. Yeah, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. She cook it up the right way. She put all the seasonings and all the flavors that you like. You're gonna fucking eat it and ask for more because your body doesn't understand. Okay, well that's unlawful. Your body just understands that when you put it on your tongue, it tastes good and it's leaving you satiated. But the law is spiritual, meaning you gotta now say, okay, look, I've read the law and I understand it.
This book of Galatians 5:7-16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
That's the flesh. That guy wasn't walking in the spirit when he was trying to give that counsel. And that's an officer in ISUPK.
I've got something on that. Okay.
For the last, for the flesh lasted against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh.
Yes, it's a constant war. That's why we have to deal. The scriptures talk about these. What's the word? It's in Corinthians. To be balanced. Temperate in all things, man. Yeah, because obviously we're in this world. You like certain things, but according to the spirit, if it's not lawful, we don't partake in those things, man. You know, and it's definitely the spirit of adultery. You can't partake in that because that's a sin unto death. That's not something that you lust after doing, man. We got niggas in the world, they lust after it because they ain't temperate, man. And they're not in the scriptures like we are. They're of the world, man. They're that carnal spirit.
Like you might see a woman and you like her, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I got a man. Straight away, the
Leave her
spiritual
alone.
side of you should be like, oh, okay, cool, I'm done.
Yeah, you
I'm
can't
out.
talk to her, you can't do nothing.
Even though you might have liked her, obviously the carnal side, I like the way the eyes, the eyes
You're
and all
thinking
that
about
stuff,
her
yeah?
and shit.
And she might like you,
Yeah.
right? But then you gotta be like Joseph.
But the stars didn't align, man.
Yeah, Joseph was spiritual, man.
Yeah, Joseph.
But this guy would have counseled anyway.
No, he would have said,
That nigga been working hard.
He's just leaving.
He's a hammer. Yeah, because that's what people like certain camps and certain groups say. Like if she's a heathen, it's okay. It's like nah, it don't matter if she or he or the husband's a
If you
heathen.
don't honor, listen, if you don't honor a contract, and that shows you they lack understanding.
That's proper.
If you give loopholes where you don't have to honor contracts, you'll always find an excuse to not honor another contract.
Yeah.
Marriage is a contract, it's a universal contract in earth. It doesn't matter whether it's even an Edomite that made that contract. If you go in and you break that contract, you set the precedent that contracts can be broken. It's a contract.
Yep.
And you don't want no one to break your contracts that you make, so you don't break other people's contracts, man.
Which is why the punishment was public. It's like this is what happens when you break these contracts, man.
Yeah.
So that's something, as we see in this world, that's something that it just breeds a wickedness that breeds death
and distrust.
distrust. Yeah.
Because when you live in a world where contracts are so easily broken, nobody trusts each other.
Yeah.
Because no one's keeping their word.
They say till death do us part, and then they go. That's crazy.
Or even
Oh,
before
wait
the
for
wedding,
time.
even before the wedding, the
Yeah.
woman will step out on the husband.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
all
mad.
that stuff, stag dues and all that. But I got this one, James 4:4.
Yeah, and another thing, you got a nigga sitting next to you saying you give a man a counsel like that. Can't have that guy come to the cookout no more, man. That dude, what if he got a problem with me?
That was the enemy, bro.
I'm trying to get out my wife.
Enemy in the midst.
On the slide.
Listen, a guy that will do, and I'll always tell people this, yeah, don't make no mistake here. Someone that will do something so easily to someone else, yeah, there's no reason they wouldn't do it to you.
Under the right
Which-
circumstances.
Yeah, innit, man?
It's like when you at work, yeah, when I run into people at work and they're quick to talk about other
Yeah.
people,
I don't trust that.
then it's like, well, you're talking about this person in such and such a fashion.
You can't confide in that.
Then exactly, then who am
the
I to
same
you
shit.
that you wouldn't go and do that same thing to me?
If the opportunity
If
presents
the
itself,
opportunity presents itself, like, it's just like, you ever seen them? What's that movie where the guy traded? What is it? I forgot the film, man. But the guy must have betrayed his own people, man. And then he was like, after the man bust up his balls and said, people like you, yeah, you can join us, but you will never breed. Like you will just be a lower level because you betrayed your own.
Yeah, you can't be trusted.
So how am I gonna now trust you to not betray me when you betrayed your own?
Yeah.
So a guy is talking like that, yeah, like I gotta look at him sideways, like, yo, look,
Yeah, these men you can't keep company with.
is that how you solve disputes?
It's not on the example you gave. That's why people get into relationships with a woman that they committed adultery with, and then are surprised when she could. And it's like, bro,
There's a pattern.
how did it
pattern
start?
being formed?
Yes.
There's no trust there. It can't be.
Yeah. Because if they did it to them, they'll do it to you. If someone underhanded, you know, and does underhanded things to people that they've known and you're just knowing them, well, of course they'll do it to you, man, because they've shown that that's their character, which is why a character was very important, especially in the ancient world, your reputation. But you do something that you're that kind of person, man's thinking, well, what?
I get that real quick for you. Some Proverbs. If it wants to load. Yeah, it says Proverbs 22:1. It says a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and love and favor rather than silver.
And not in this world.
Yeah, that guy ain't got a good name with us. Because if that's the way you resolve situations, then like we can't trust you, man, because you will do any wild shit. What else could you do?
Can't be around brothers.
Maybe a man might violate you, go kill his son. Or do, I don't know. Your mindset is way out there.
There's an enemy to the spirit, man.
Might fuck a man's mother or some shit. I don't know.
There's no limits.
What
no
do them
boundaries.
do?
Yeah, there's no boundaries, man.
What's the most heinous shit I can do? You know, I'm trying to think.
Because the Bible has boundaries. The scriptures have boundaries, man. Like a crime for a crime, not crime for a crime, but justice for a crime.
Balance,
like if a man killed and then he's found him.
It's life for life.
Yeah, life for life. All that. But there's certain things you can't do, man. Like definitely sleeping with another man's wife. You can't do that, man.
That's not a judgment for anything.
Yeah, that's not. That's
Even if it's an Edomite.
Yeah, even if it's your worst enemy, man. Even if it was Hitler or whatever. You can't do that, man.
Hey, the way social media is now, Hitler's getting some good promo. His approval rating is he was on 0% for a minute. Still, like,
people got the translation in English and like, yo, you saying the right thing.
This was funny.
But I'm just talking about in terms of like a villain, like a number one nemesis. You can't even do that. Like Superman couldn't go around and sleep with swords. You know, swords of wife and all that. You know, like, you couldn't do that. Even though he killed his pops and all that, whatever, man. You can't do that, bro. It's just off. It's off.
Are we finished with Romans 8? Oh, you got something?
It's a book of Proverbs 6 and the 32. But whoso committed adultery will say woman lacketh understanding.
That's it, man.
Yeah, that dude ain't got the understanding. So why are you running why are you running a radio show and why are you out there being put forward and giving people counsel? Should have been cut immediately and made a public example of, and they should have did a public video so that to make sure that everybody listening to that radio understands that this is not acceptable and we don't play like that. But they never did that. If anything, they did a Catholic priest. Even if they did reprimand that dude, there's probably one of them Catholic ones where they just brushed him to the side. But that was public what he said.
Mm.
So that needed to be addressed publicly.
Yeah.
It weren't like, you know, okay, fair enough. If a man violate another brother personal thing and you just want to sort that out, and you know, we tell everybody that it's not everyone's business. But when someone publicly comes out and is saying that you could commit adultery to resolve a situation, yeah, you got to make that rebuttal
to
public.
hundreds
Yeah,
of thousands
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
But you ain't gonna do that if you're trying to save face and
Yeah,
just
so-
let it slide.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully, man, just forget about it.
That's basically what they did.
Them that sin rebuke before all
Yeah, you gotta come on, man, that was wild.
others may.
I was going to say, he that doeth it destroys his own soul.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah, so so again, we got a man of the Lord, allegedly, said he'll counsel a man to destroy his own soul
True.
for the purpose of revenge. It don't get more wicked than that, man.
Yeah.
It really don't get no wicked than that. I don't think you could be more wicked. You
Wait,
literally counseling a
But
man.
he's playing the part of fucking Satan, man.
Yeah,
He canceled the man. You just do this.
the accuser
know,
of our brethren.
Just destroy yourself, bro.
The,
Mad.
the devil's advocate.
Whispering in the air, boy.
I think that's even in that film, The Devil's Advocate, with Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves. I think he told him to go sleep with something like that, where he tried to sleep with man's wife and all that. On the low and all that. She was
I'm
crying
a fan
crazy.
of man.
Yeah.
So like,
She
can
was
I
crazy.
add as well? Even if the husband is willing, because you get a lot of that in this world.
Oh, the
The cocking and all of that.
All them
You know,
Diddy's and Jay-Z's.
Yeah, no, because that's a real
Swingers.
that's a
Yeah,
real
that's
thing
depravity,
nowadays.
man. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
depravity.
You know, where you'll get guys that are like, oh yeah, I want my wife to go out and have other men, even if
yeah.
he's not there. What he likes the fact that she's gone out and done. Not even if he's so cool with it, you can't do that shit. Man. That's
destroyed
wicked.
his own soul.
Yeah,
Hey,
That's
because you didn't get the
wicked.
most Hutchinson. consent.
yeah.
You
That's
didn't
an
get that.
Omega man. Yeah, that
Yeah.
ain't right, man. That's that debauchery.
Yeah. I've got this if I may. The point I want is in 3, but I'll start from the top. It says 1 Peter 5, right? It says, the elders which are among you, I exhort you, I'm also an elder and the witness of the sufferings of Mashiach, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Be the flock of the Most High which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind, neither as being lords over the Most High's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock.
Examples. So you lead by example, and remember, you're feeding them with good food.
Yeah,
You're feeding them with what's
abstain
right.
from all evil.
Yeah.
Abstain from
All of
evil.
that, man. You're advocating it.
Yeah.
And if you do say something wrong, you make sure that you
Yeah.
come out. If you publicly
Correct.
say something wrong,
Yeah.
Be
you
humble.
come out
and
and publicly correct it.
Yeah.
Not for your sake, because you might lose some brownie points, but for the purpose of the congregation, man.
Yeah. Because Arkim are always watching, man. You know, our brothers on the other side always watching.
Yeah. We're supposed to be leaders. We're supposed to be examples. You know, like the apostles. That's why anything the apostles say, they make sure they studied it and all that. They always stress that you got to study. Make sure you're not just being a parrot and copying what another man's saying. Study and make sure you understand what was
Yeah,
being taught.
And if
No,
I
because-
say anything wrong,
Now another officer hear that and think that's cool because this guy said it,
Yeah.
and then now everyone's giving counsel to commit adultery.
Urban, man.
But GMS is a rapist or something.
but it's like, even when the apostles, they say something wrong, or they'll come back and correct what they said, man.
Exactly.
So we can all know.
Yeah.
And if you see it as an example of
Exactly.
if you do
Because it's a show of being humble, man.
Humble, yeah.
At the end of the day, people don't want to look bad. I'm
That's
fucked
what
up.
it is. Damage
fucked up.
control.
I fucked up, man. I don't want to look bad in front of the whole of Israel. No,
If
fuck
you're
that, man.
humble,
Ain't
yeah.
about you.
Bro, you look bad when you said that.
Yeah, super.
But goes into what we were saying earlier that these men are clearly not in the spirit, and that's a prime example among many. You know, IUIC, they're saying now they're teaching that you're gonna burn in hell. They're teaching that an Israelite is gonna burn in hell when hell is a Greek construct. That goes back to the underworld. The term underworld is completely a Greek construct. It's nothing to do with the scriptures. There's no underworld in the scriptures. In the scriptures, you have the grave.
Middle Earth.
A place where people live. Yeah.
And we've done videos going into the history of the term underworld and Hades and where it comes from. The scriptures never spoke of no eternal place of punishment called hell. And how do we know that? Because when you go into the scriptures, when the Lord made a covenant to Israel, he never spoke to them about hell,
No, he didn't.
which would be insane, because if you're telling me that if you commit sin, right, not only are you going to get judged for that sin on earth,
Right.
but then on top of that, when you die, you're going to burn forever. You don't leave that out. You see that part there?
Very important.
You need to put that in there. You can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, that part there will make a nigga straighten up. You know what I mean? No. Instead, if you look into the scriptures, the judgment for sin was something that would happen to them on earth, and not everyone's running away from this fact. But let's speak about it logically. Think about it logically and spiritually at the same time. If when you do evil, you are going to die and then pay for that evil in eternity in hell, then why is it that the Lord is bringing judgment for committing sin on earth? You understand what I'm saying? Like, how does it make sense? Because now, it's done. You died and it's done. So why is it talking about you're gonna go into captivity and your children? Why would they need to be punished? Why are we even being punished now? You should just be in hell. It doesn't. If you introduce hell and burning in hell forever, it really doesn't make any sense.
Reincarnation doesn't exist.
Reincarnation don't make, and there's no need for prophecy. Why would you need to prophesy good or evil if the good or evil is simply gonna happen when you die?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
So we go 2 Corinthians 5:10. For we must all appear before
flies come. We start talking about ISUPK. All these damn flies start coming, man. Go join your master, man. They committing adultery and shit. You know, them adulterous niggas, man.
For we must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach.
That's what happens when you die. You go before the heavens in the judgment seat. There's a recent video Captain Zaria did, which I think Apostle Ramla did a video in it last night, because a woman was asking the question of her daughter dying from suicide. Where did she go? He said in the first part of the video he was saying she's neither in heaven nor hell. She's in a void.
So
where's that in the script?
So what it is, yeah, I'm glad. Okay, so you know where that comes from, right? That's that Catholic doctrine of purgatory.
Yeah, limbo or whatever.
It's a purgatory.
And all that.
What are you talking about?
There's no fucking
What are you talking about?
The spirit goes to the heaven.
All go to one place. Yeah?
Let's get that in the scriptures, you see? But he's not speaking spiritually. But we got to ask ourselves, where did that doctrine come from? That's not in the scriptures, my man. You got that from the Rosicrucians, bro. That's a Catholic doctrine of purgatory.
Yeah. Void.
Just like your doctrine of, well, not you don't teach that, but you probably will start teaching that. We don't know. IUIC are teaching you go and burn in hell.
That's madness.
That's insane.
Bullshit.
That's insane. Just the idea of burning in hell is insane in forever is insane to begin with. Because in what could you do? What evil could you possibly do to burn in infinitely?
But this is the thing, right? Because this whole law about the judgments, right? It's all like balanced, right? Compared to what you do, right?
Where's the balance?
There's no balance in this. That's completely out of the characteristics of the Most High to do that. You know, on that level, that's just crazy.
It's insane, bro.
You know, it makes sense, man. All spirits go to the heavens.
Insane. We got that. The spirit of man that goeth upward. Yeah, man. The spirit goeth upward, man, and the spirit of beast goeth downward. There is no such thing as dying and burning in hell. Because why is Yahweh Shai coming back then?
Where did Yahweh Shai go if he was stuck in some void?
If that basically means that, okay, what is the purpose of the Messiah returning? Because if the end goal you're gonna get to when you die, so why is he coming back for? What?
That's like automated.
He's just gonna go die, and whoever goes to heaven goes to heaven, whoever goes to hell goes to hell. So what's he returning for? You man are bringing in all these false ideologies that have no place in the scriptures.
Jewish fables. And the word fables means myth. Mythos in the Greek.
It's 100% a myth, man. The Ecclesian fields the Hades, man, Tartarus, and all that madness, man. Which is all fun. Hey, listen, I'll be the first to tell you, it's hella fucking entertaining.
You even got the Norse one. You got
The
that.
Norse one,
yeah,
yeah, because
Val-
it's
Val-
all built on the same.
Yeah, the premise.
It's on the same premise. Like
Val-
it's all related.
Valhalla and all that.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, it's
Same
hella.
shit.
Listen, it's entertaining as fuck,
That's it.
but it's not
It's not
part
the
of
truth.
scriptures.
It's not the truth.
We all. I like to watch a good Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
Ooh, Seven Circles of Hell. Wow, this is entertaining. But I'm not gonna come out here in the street and teach it like it's reality, man. That's insane.
Yeah.
I like watching a bit of Constantine.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or and all that Valkyrie.
Yeah,
Hades,
you know.
all that shit. Man.
What are we doing here, man?
Neat shit.
Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes.
Even Cain. What did he say to Cain? Did he say to Cain, you're gonna burn in hell? Did the Most High say, oh,
No.
you're gonna for killing your brother Abel, you're gonna burn in hell? Well, surely you would mention that.
Yeah, he would have.
What about Adam? In the day that thou eatest of the fruit, when you
Shall
die, you're
burn
gonna
in
burn
hell.
in hell.
Yeah, he would have
You gotta lead with that. Hell isn't even mentioned. If
It's
you
not even
Google it for the first time, the word hell is mentioned. I'm sure it's not until like Numbers or something.
Yeah, and it's metaphoric.
Yeah, it's not even. Yeah, it's
not
that's
exactly.
Deuteronomy. I think it's mentioned in Deuteronomy, and it talks about burning to the lowest hell,
Yeah,
which means the ground.
The earth, yeah, the grave.
That's a strange way to introduce hell, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
Yo, come on. Where's the, so
Build up, where's the
before
build
that,
up
no
to
one
that?
had no idea, man. They was
Yeah.
dying.
Oh shit! What was that? Oh no.
They hurt, man. Then they had to wait like 3,000
Well,
years until Yahushua came, and he was down there preaching.
Well,
to
what
them,
about prior to when they received the law?
Oh,
Did they go
Time
into
of Noah.
hell, or where did they go?
Time
What
of
happened
Noah
to
and
them?
all that.
yeah. Do they get to repent? That's
Yeah.
just burning.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3.
Pharaoh and all them, man. Just
Yeah,
burning.
yeah. Swimming in the lake of fire.
Under the Red Sea.
Yeah.
Insane.
Because do well.
The scripture said, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. It never said nothing about them burning in hell, because then why would we even be worrying about them going into captivity?
Yeah.
Just let them go to hell.
Who we taking? Yeah, who we taking into captivity if they were burning in hell anyway?
Any punishment, I promise you this, any punishment you're doing here is just redundant, isn't it? If you're just gonna go to hell and burn forever. Let's just get straight to that then, innit?
I'm punished twice over. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
That's earth, man.
Yeah.
And I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose, for every work.
Right. Every purpose and every word. This is where you can be blessed.
Yeah.
This is where you can be cursed. You know? Wow. This is where you can be blessed, and this is where you can be cursed. It all plays. This is the theater. Earth is the theater. If you look at Israel, whether we're up or down, it's something which happens on earth. Even if you go into the book of Revelations, the book of Revelations is events which are prophesied to take place on earth.
Yeah.
Every single event. The destruction of America, the salvation, everything's happening here. Does it mention the heavens? Yes, but it never mentioned no hell. That's what we do know. It didn't say, and in the book of Revelation 17:5, in the depths of hell, Satan never mentioned none of that.
Climbed out. Oh, but what about the pit?
The lake of fire. The lake of fire is talking about an event that's going to happen on the earth.
It's America, because it's
America's
gonna
the
be a
lake
lake
of
of fire.
It didn't say it's going to be in the middle, like they're going to be burning in the midst of in front of the Lamb and the angels in middle earth and underneath the earth. It didn't say that. It's going to happen on the earth, man.
Insane.
Everyone's going to see it.
So like I said, let's look up every prophecy in the Bible and show me which one of them is telling that did he say Moab, oh, you're gonna burn it? No, it's like
None of them.
all the
Slavery.
judgments is all things that are gonna happen here, and it usually involves the sword. In fact, that's in the scriptures. The things for sin is famine, the sword.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
All they just said.
That's in the.
what's it say? For men, second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He never said, "Oh, but amendment was hell."
No.
Fire.
Sword is
Well,
for
it said
men.
fire, but
Yeah.
it's a different, big
Yeah.
big difference.
Yeah, sword is for amendment. Man.
Yeah, man. Good.
We've got something on which got suicide. It says Judges 16 and 28 says, and Samson called unto the Lord Yahweh and said, O Lord power, remember me, I pray thee, and strengthen me, I pray thee, only this once. O God, Mosiah, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. And Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars upon which the house stood, and on which it was borne up, of the one with his right hand and the other with his left. And Samson said, let me die with the Philistines. And he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords and upon all the people that were therein. So the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life. And basically, the Lord gave him this because he didn't have strength at that point.
Yeah. Now, we're not telling people to go around killing themselves, but you know what? If you want to do that, that's your business. That's not my business.
Yeah.
Like, but it's not murder. Listen, there's no law on killing yourself in the scripture. No law. That don't mean you go dive off a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can't praise the Most High here. Like, we're here to do things, innit?
Yeah.
You can praise the Most High here, like a dead, a living dog is better than a dead lion. Yeah. But at the same time, did you know in the UK, right? It wasn't long ago that actually, if you tried to commit suicide, right, and you failed, you actually went to jail. Did you know that?
Great.
Because there was an actual law. I forgot what the name is, but there's a law against suicide, and then they changed it. So now you get sectioned, don't you? And you get monitored, right? But when you really think about it, there is no law. Let's say like someone tried to commit suicide. What is the law, the sin that they did in the scriptures? There's not. Because really, they punished themselves. They're going to have to deal with their own pain. They jump off a bridge and they didn't die. This is going to be all, you're on your own. You chastised yourself, right? But the point is, like, where's all this purgatory coming from then? You're just dead. That's between you and the Most High. Most High told you to come home and you came home. I don't know. That's none of my business. And we're not encouraging nobody to do that. But like, what are we doing here?
Your spirit doesn't just stay in some void. Your spirit goes back to the heavens, man.
Yeah, you're in peace now, isn't it? It is what it is, man. And you'll be back. You know, and the Lord will judge. Because I'm sure the Lord's going to judge you for more than that. That's why you was alive. Really, what you did while you was alive, the Lord's going to judge you.
That's why they pushed in that whole Constantine movie. The bitch committed suicide. Yeah, she's burning in hell. And he went down there, got some receipt, came back. Not sure that's to prove that she was in hell.
A clock in the tokens, man. To prove that she was insane. Yeah, that's why they got it bullshit, man.
That shit is Greek fables, man. But Jake is so mystified by that. It goes back to Constantine anyway, going back to 325, like the real Constantine. Pushing all that madness, that paganism, man. That's what Jake is engulfed in, that paganism, man.
In the void.
Yeah,
that's insane.
They actually believe in the hell doctrine. Like, someone does wickedness, they die. And they're gonna go burn in hell like Hitler, and like he's burning in hell. Hitler's not in hell, man.
South Park.
All that bullshit, man.
Hitler gonna be in hell when we get him enslaved.
Yeah, that's the real hell.
You know what I mean? And he's gonna be there with his brethren too.
Continue from Ecclesiastes 3, verse 18. And I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. But that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. Even one thing befalleth them, as the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yea, they have all one breath, so that a man have no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity.
Yeah, why is Yahweh Shai coming back to deliver the elect? And he said we're going to overcome the sting of death. So we're never going to die again.
Yeah, man and beast have the same cycle. You come in, you're born, and then you die right now. Isn't it? But is it going to tell you the spirits operate different? And that's just the way the Most High created. Don't ask me why.
We all go unto one place. All are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. That's right, the ground.
That's the grave, the hell.
Yeah.
That's hell. Everything goes to hell, man. Hell in the scriptures, Sheol is the grave.
That's why it's insatiable, because it's always going to receive.
Yeah, it's
the dust. You're made of the ground.
There's a scripture that says that hell is never empty.
Yeah.
That's talking about the grave, man.
Now, the grave, the ground, can also be metaphorical for being low. So a low estate. So you can use it in that
Like Jake.
metaphorical reason, like, yeah, I'm catching hell or I'm in low. So it can represent suffering, but the actual physical place, which is hell, is the ground. Just like there's a heaven. Heaven is high, but you can say, like, there's plenty of songs like that. I feel like I'm in heaven, you know.
Yeah.
Seems like heaven to
I'm on
me.
cloud
You know what I'm
9.
saying?
You know, I'm on cloud 9.
Yeah, it
all that
represents.
shit.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
They were literally up in the cloud? No, it means metaphorical. Like. But heaven is a real place,
It's a real
in
place.
terms of you got the first heaven, which is the sky,
Mhm.
but you got the third heaven, which is the spirit, bro.
Apostle Paul talked about spirit. Yep.
But hell in the scriptures is just the grave, and it's written as the grave in most places that you read.
Yep.
And it's never described as no place where anyone's screaming on burning.
With this
That's
flames
like
down
what
there.
you're
Like, where'd you fit flames in the ground? You know?
saying. Moses never broke that down.
That one.
Yeah, Moses would have said that if it was real.
It's like a cavity in the earth.
You know, Moses would have said that in Deuteronomy. He said, if you don't commit this, you break this law, you're going to burn in hell for 1,000 years. He would have said that in the curse.
With my man from Pinhead.
Yeah, with Pinhead, yeah.
Man.
He would have said that. He didn't say that, right?
What you just said.
What he did say in
The
Exodus,
the Cenobites.
what he did say in Exodus 20 and 4, he says that you come back in your generation, the third and fourth generation, and you receive your judgments.
Well, that's another
That's what
thing.
he said.
Why was Lord revenging himself onto the third and fourth generation if
they're
the
dead
ones that did it to
Right,
him
yeah.
are just gonna die and go to hell? That's a plot hole, man. That don't make no sense.
They're calling the Lord a liar.
Says Matthew 11:23 says, "And thou, Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell."
So what does that
Capernaum
mean?
in heaven.
There was an
So-
exalted city.
Capernaum was
They
flying.
must have
in
been
the
going through portals.
sky. Jacob ladder.
It wasn't just Bill where it starts rising into the heaven. That was Ultron. That was right.
Yeah, like what does that mean? Break that down. If you want to take it literal, So does that mean that city they was in going one place to another?
But again, that's why America is metaphorically Capernaum.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause they are the exalted city in the heavens right now, on top. You know, that's sitting at the top right now. And they're going to be brought down to hell and be destroyed. You know?
It says that sit in the dust, old daughter of virgin.
Yeah, being brought low. And then you got Gehenna, which that's a whole different thing. Gehenna's a place where they used to go and burn rubbish, man.
Burn rubbish, burn dead animals.
And at one point they were making sacrifices there too in the fires of Gehenna.
Value, you know.
Like a big.
And America is gonna be like Gehenna.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna
Literally.
be a giant fucking valley where man, all the rubbish, the filth is gonna be burnt, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously in the Greek they use, and this is where you got to be careful because when you're using certain English words and certain Greek words, those words, even though they might be closely related to the Hebrew, might have a cultural connotation which is attached to it.
Yep.
Case in point, the scriptures use the word hell, right? And then when you go back to the Greek, it says Hades, because to the Greeks, Hades was the grave, but they also had the underworld culture, the mythology of the underworld, which is attached to it, which we didn't have that attached to it, but the closest word you could use was Hades. So you need to understand, okay, Hades, when it's said in the Greek, from our perspective,
Not a little
represents the
place.
grave, but they have all this other stuff attached to it.
What was it? Orcus. They got Orcus down there. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
We go into the word.
So you need to, it's just that Plutos.
Yeah.
The Greek word, when you see rich in the scriptures, you got Plutos, which is where you get Pluto, which Pluto is Hades. Plutos and Hades is the same thing because Pluto was the Roman name for Hades, and they were the gods of the underworld. But peep game right now. Peep the game. They were also known as the gods of riches. Why? Where is riches found? In the earth. So what are they really the god of? The earth. Because that's where you dig gold. Gold ain't in no mythical place called hell. Gold is, that means that when them man digging up gold and digging up silver, them man are actually in hell digging it up. Remember that film, Fire Down Below? And that, you know what I mean? Like, no, man. Because it was understood that really it's the ground. There weren't no real fucking hell. At one point, they had there was an entrances to hell where you, and that's what all the you know them badass films used to watch. And Cerberus, There's a
Yeah,
three-headed dog guarding
the
the.
gate. Yeah.
Bro, what the fuck, man? That wasn't real, man. That was just added on, man. You got fucking and you got to go across the river Styx or Styx or whatever, and you got to pay the boatman.
By carrying the boatman.
Yeah, so they used to put the cold coin on the damn eyelids of the. You know what I mean? You believe all that shit as well, because that's when you believe in the underworld.
Well, did
sound like the God
them
of War.
Egyptians for you, dude.
That sound like some.
It was some same shit.
That sound like some God of War type shit. Man.
Yeah, it is. This is bullshit, man. No, the reality of the situation is they worship Hades and Pluto for riches because they represented the ground, and that's where it was. Zeus had the sky, and Poseidon had the oceans.
Yeah, ladies at the three brothers. Yeah.
But they weren't real. You know what I mean?
It's not real. It's
This is
mythical,
mythical, man. But
man.
niggas take that shit and run with it.
Yeah.
Oh, see, the scripture says Hades, so it's
it was-
talking
It
about.
was the Marvel Universe before the Marvel Universe, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's what
Come
it
on, man.
is. Ancient comics.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, you gotta understand when you're dealing with certain words, that's what they would do. You know, there might be a cultural connotation
yeah.
that comes with that word, and it was the closest word they could use for our word. Just like we have a word, Gaal, which is very specific to us. Redeemer is a close word for it, but it's not exact. Just like the word world has a lot of connotations to it culturally for us, but in the Greek there are 3 different words. So when you read in the scriptures, when most people think of hell, they have a cultural connotation to the word hell, where if you read it in the actual Hebrew, that cultural connotation never existed.
And it's not helped by the fact that they pushed this idea of the underworld in modern culture.
Modern, yeah,
You know what I'm
mainstream.
saying? Because we already had this understanding of that before going into scriptures. You
Yeah.
because the Christians have now taught it or whatever.
Because you had the great comedy, which, by the way, the word comedy is a tragedy. It was the idea that a tragedy is funny. That's where you get the original term for comedy. So comedy wasn't actually something that was. Now they think of a comedy as Deadpool, but it's not. A comedy was a tragedy, like where
dark humor.
the good guy, yeah, where the good guy dies in the end.
And
It was
I think
called a comedy, right?
And I think it comes from the word comida, which means food. Well, it does, isn't it?
Okay, cool.
It comes from the Greek word comida,
Oh.
which means food as well.
Yeah. Right. So you had Dante, right? The book Dante's Inferno, right? Now that book was a completely made up book. It's a
Yeah,
mythical book that describes the 7 circles of hell. But when you go back into the history of the writing of that book, it was actually written as political and a political attack on his opposition. So he writ a lot of his opposition into the book. And then what it is was they took the imagery of Dante's Inferno and said, okay, this is good imagery. We're going to start painting this imagery in these churches and start scaring the people with the idea of there's 7 circles of hell. This happened, in order to scare the people into paying up their money because they were making money from absolution. So let's say you had like a rich man and he was doing a bunch of debauchery his whole life. The priest will say, okay, well, boy, you're destined to hell. But if you pay the church give the church all your money, or you pay this amount of money, we'll give you absolution, meaning the priest could actually come and say all your sins are taken away.
Well, you've got it here, right? 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 8. And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. I bet that's putting that all day long, man. Putting that out.
So the church, that's one of the ways that the church got filthy rich. Because there was many noblemen that gave up all their money to the church because they didn't want to go to hell. So they gave everything, their estate and everything over to the church, and they were paying for absolution. And a big part of the fear-mongering was the imagery that they produced based upon Dante's Inferno, which was a fucking fictional piece of writing, which is where everyone today gets their idea of hell, because their idea of hell comes mainly from movies. From fiction. The pitchfork and the guy with the red. Where did they get? Is that in the Bible? Where does it say in the Bible there's a guy with a pitchfork? Most of the what people think about Exorcist.
Well, I think it was Johanna that said it was down there with a pitchfork ready to poke you.
Where'd you get that from? You got that from popular media, and the church was rolling with that because it was helping them to make money, man. You could do your own research on Dante's Inferno, and and what was happening with that book and why it was written. It wasn't written as edification for the masses. It wasn't. It's a comedy. It's actually called that, Dante's Inferno,
entertainment
comedy.
Entertainment, that's what it was.
It's an old school political hit piece.
I was just looking this up. It is AI, so for the pinch of salt, it says, however, the Catholic Church is one of the wealthiest religious organizations in the world with an estimated $73 billion in assets.
They should have zero assets, bro. They should be all gone to the poor, right?
Yeah.
But Pope,
Yeah.
but the Pope man rolled around with golden scepters and bulletproof cars and shit.
Golden Days,
Massive entourage to protect this holy man who has faith in the Most High's protection.
That's why they're one of the filthy frogs in Revelations, man, because they're part of that.
And
falsehoods of
and all they're doing is running rings. You know what I'm saying? You know,
the Vatican's the Pope's filthy rich, man. I'm surprised he's not in the Forbes list and all that. He should be in the Forbes list.
So look, he says, see the Divine Comedy by Dante, right? The purpose of Dante's Divine Comedy, it says, was to show people the horrors their souls would go through if they did not obey God's laws and did not live righteously.
But then where was that in the scriptures, though?
And it says the summary of the Divine Comedy. You got the Inferno, the Purgatorio, and the Paradiso. This is what these men are teaching. Purgatory. This is where was that in the scriptures?
Roman shit, Roman Catholic shit. You guys, man, your doctrine's wish-washy, man. That's why Apostle said, Nate and all these guys, they can never come out and say they got 100% truth, because they know they will come down in like a ton of bricks, man. You guys are always fumbling with the bag.
They incorporate too much fallacies, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, but the scripture tells you that they would do these things.
Yeah, adding and taking away.
You know, it says they would do that, man. Bringing damnable heresy.
Yeah, damnable heresy.
Things that you never taught, never learned, right?
Yeah.
All these things are they're heathenistic in nature.
Because in One West, you wasn't taught no hell doctrine in One West. The apostles always said that, man. You wasn't taught that hell shit in One West. So where did you get that from, man? Where did that come in through the truth? Where did you get that doctrine from, man? Because that was never part of the foundation of this truth, man. Abba Bivens never taught about no damn hell. Elder High Priest Ariel, none of them elders taught about hell, man. Where did you get that doctrine from? You got it from the devil, man.
Same place they got the breakdown that the mark of the beast is an embargo.
It's an embargo.
Or sleeping with a white woman or some stupid shit like that. The same place where they got that
sin in all its forms, religious or political. That's the new version now. Sin in all its forms, whether religious or political.
Well, like you have signing a 501c3 charter and be incorporated with the government.
That's the mark of the beast. King Solomon and
like taking the juices because they said so. Yeah. Is that a sin? Is that joining in with the beast?
Yeah. All sins and
let's keep going, man. These guys are the blind. They're there to deceive, and it's stumbling. It's evidence.
Stumbling. But it's just coming. Yeah, it's more evident now. So we're coming to the end of this thing, the end of this truth cycle, this word going out. The famine of the words coming. So the Lord is wrapping this shit up and he's showing who the true men of the Lord are, which is always going to be the apostles and elders of great Musa. It's going to start from them. Because that's the presbytery that the Lord started with.
Truth is always going to prevail.
It's always going to start with them. And everyone else that's outside of that, that's pushing all their falsehoods, they're going to be exposed as well. Like the Sakaris, the Genesis guys, any guys that's not pushing 100% truth, you're going to be exposed to be the false guys that you are, man. And you're going to be destroyed.
Remember, I don't know if you remember what Elder Yashua said at the back end of last year, but he in the spirit, he prophesied that this would happen.
Before Cat Williams, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Before Cat Williams, apostles and elders in the Great Millstone were saying, look, there's going to be more exposés, man. And that's exactly what's happening this year.
Now, doesn't the scripture say that we're being cleansed through Yahweh Shai? Let's get some scriptures to that, because I'm going to make a point on this, what this purgatory is talking about, and showing you it's this bullshit. You don't need it. That a washing of the word. The Yahweh Shai is cleansing us through his sacrifice. You don't need to go nowhere to be cleansed. The cleansing is through Yahweh Shai. Is that not biblical? Yahweh Shai is cleaning, cleansing us. We're being purged now. Yeah?
Every day we're getting purged.
Okay. Now I'm reading this here. It says purgatory is a passing intermediate state after physical death for purifying or purging a soul. Right? It says, in Catholic doctrine, purgatory refers to the final cleansing of those who died in a state of grace and leaves in them only the holiness necessary to enter the joy of heaven, which is nowhere in the scriptures that it says you need to have holiness to enter heaven. What is that? Because the scripture says Satan came before the Most High. Is he holy?
But we even have a Day of Atonement. Which was the Day of Atonement about? The cleansing of your sins. So that purgatory shit is bullshit.
But they need to define what holiness is then. Like, because that's a very thing. Because if it's speaking something that was sanctified, which is a preordained thing.
Yeah. I got here anyway. Psalms 119 and 9. It says, wherewithal, Slakia, shall a young man cleanse his way by taking heed thereto, according to thy word.
Yeah, this Yahweh Shai is the scripture speak about the washing by the word. He's there to cleanse us. Yeah, go on.
Well, John 15 and 3 says, now you're clean through the word which I've spoken unto you.
So what do we need to? Why do you need to? So based on what they're saying, we've been under the grace period right now. So if you die, you have to go to purgatory and suffer in purgatory in order to be cleansed. In order for you then to go to heaven.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on here?
As I said, we got the Day of Atonement.
Now it says the noun, which the Day of Atonement, yes, but you can't just keep the Day of Atonement and be cleansed.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Ultimately, the cleansing is through Yahweh Shai.
Yeah. You have to be in Yahweh Shai to
yeah, you don't dying and going nowhere to be cleansed. Now it says the noun purgatory means to clean or to cleanse. Appeared perhaps only between 1160 and 1180, which encouraged speaking of purgatory as a place. So this is new. This is new shit. Purgatory predates a specific Catholic tradition of purgatory as a transitional state or condition. It has a history that dates back before Yahweh Shai to related beliefs also in Judaism that prayer for the dead contributes to their afterlife purification. Right? So there's some fables, man.
Oh, look at this. This is a prayer from King David after he committed adultery. This is in Psalms 51, and the heading says, a contrite sinner's prayer for pardon. It says, to the chief musician, the Psalm of David, when Nathan the prophet came unto him after he had gone into Bathsheba, said, have mercy upon me, O power, according to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity and cleanse me from my sins.
There you go. Now, it says here that analogous concepts in other religions, because we know that in the scriptures, it doesn't speak about you going and to know where to be cleansed. You're cleansed through Yahweh Shai. Right? You know what I'm saying?
The word, yeah.
But it says here, Judaism, which we know is a falsehood, yeah? In Judaism, Gehenna, so Gehenna, General Gehenna, is a place of purification where, according to some traditions, most sinners spend up to a year before release.
That's BS.
Where did they get that from? Where is that in the Torah? Where did they get this from? This is all Talmudic.
So what they're saying, they go there. They used to go there to purge themselves.
Yeah,
so basically, what you're saying is, you die,
Madness.
and your soul, before you go to heaven, has to go to some place where you're purified in order to go to heaven. So you suffer for a year or whatever period of time.
You're in a void for a whole year, and then you get decided whether you go to hell.
And then where else does it come from? Islam, they have it.
Yeah, they do. All them religions have it.
Hinduism.
Yeah, they all have it. Buddha, all that shit.
So Zoroastrianism, which that goes back to the Persians. They used to have that before they became Islamic. Yeah. This is insane. But we know that according to the scriptures, that we're being washed and cleansed by the blood of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
So we don't need to die and go nowhere to be cleansed.
There's no purgatory.
What's going on? Yahweh Shai never said, yeah, you're going to die and then you're going to go to purgatory and need to be cleansed. No. It says in the blink of an eye, we shall be changed. And the corruptible will put on the incorruptible. We're going to be cleansed.
And the dead shall raise first, but there's going to be some guys that are not dead.
Yeah,
that are going to be cleansed, made right too. I've got a couple
This is insane.
precepts.
Yeah, go on.
2 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1 says, having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of God.
Yeah, how do you do that? Just like if you're in the world and you didn't know this truth, you come across this truth, then you find out what this truth is, and then you start following the truth. You know, you repent. That's the start. That's the beginning of you being cleansed, man. That's the whole process. So you get washed by the word.
That's what the whole idea of casting off the old man is.
Yeah.
Because your old man is in sins. You got to change your ways and do what's right. So that's your cleansing or your purification process.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's an end to that. Like anything that has to happen, that you know, Yahushua is coming, we all will be changed. But you're going through the process of it now, while you're here. You know.
I got this, man. Ezekiel 30, just to show you, it's not when you die. Ezekiel 36. But I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries, and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you.
And that also goes into the new
covenant. Yep. And a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and will give you an heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them, and ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers. In the land. So that means you're not someone where you're dying and going to heaven. That's according to them.
Yeah, that's the sprinkling.
Yeah. And you shall be my people, and I will be your God.
Yeah. So that even quantifies this whole new covenant thing, because IUIC are going off on that as well. We're not under the new covenant. We're definitely not under the new covenant yet, because this hasn't happened, and there's many other things that have to happen before we get into that new covenant, you know, basis. But the cleansing of the word is the beginning of us, you know, being, you know, purged basically in the spirit. There's no need for us to be in no purgatory state underneath the earth somewhere before we go into the spiritual realm, man. It doesn't make sense.
Well, I got it here. Hebrews 9 and 13, which is also in the scholars put this together. It says, for if the blood of bulls and of the goats and of the ashes of the heifer, sprinkling the unclean, sanctifying to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Hamashiach, who through the eternal spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God. Yeah. So
he was the ultimate purge.
Yeah, so what's the purgatory thing for?
You don't need it. Yahushua already done it. Yeah. Yahushua is the ultimate sacrifice, man. So we don't need to sacrifice and do all that.
Oh, I got this here. Hebrews 10 and 22. Let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water.
It's all spiritual, man.
Yeah.
It's not a physical thing, it's spiritual. It does lead into the physical, but it starts off with the spiritual thing, man. That's what these guys don't understand.
That's the manifestation.
But when you start straying away from the spirit of the Lord, this is where you start getting these fables.
Fucking out.
It's a corruption.
Yeah.
Speaking of hell, where you're gonna burn in hell, it's a corruption. So they're trying to say the 2/3 of our people, their judgment is they're gonna burn in hell.
But they're gonna come back in the
But
kingdom.
how?
They're going to burn.
But the scripture says that Jacob is the vessel of mercy.
Yeah.
Well, how? Because when you really break it down, the 2/3 was set up to be the 2/3. So you know they're set up to not receive any mercy. No, they're gonna receive mercy. But if the mercy they're gonna the mercy they're gonna receive is through the elect.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna come back.
That's it. That's the whole point of reincarnation.
Because they're still Israelites.
They're still Israelites.
They're of the seed of Jacob. Like, they're not gonna stop being of that. But you're trying to say the Lord ain't gonna have no mercy on them. Like he's just gonna have man burning, like man's cousins just burning in hell.
Jacob's children there just dead, screaming.
That's insane. Even Judas Iscariot ain't gonna burn.
That's what I say. I think someone did a sit down and talk about Judas Iscariot is burning in hell.
He paid the price for what he did, and that's that.
He's still a son of the Most High.
Still an Israelite,
Still
man.
an Israelite, man.
You're an Israelite in the spirit world. You are chosen of the spirit to be of that nation before you're down here on the earth. It's a different class of spirits, man. You can't. What do you think they're gonna get relegated to being burnt? Like, what are you doing, man? Where did you get this thing from? But we know the Rosicrucians hooked you up with that. Just like they hooked you up with the goofy Mark of the Beast breakdown that to this day don't make no sense. You got more chance of a Disney fucking theater production making sense than your goofy breakdowns. Oh, it's an embargo. What are you talking about? Explain an embargo to me. Because an embargo is against a nation of people.
Small nations,
Small
great
nation?
nations,
But
great
what are you
nations.
talking about? It says man's are going to be beheaded for not taking the mark. But so on one hand, it's you that individually commit sin that take the mark. But on another hand, it's an
Nation.
embargo which is on a nation.
But then they tried to say it's a spiritual thing, but in Revelation 16 it's physical because it says you're going to get a sore on your flesh.
But hold on,
It's
let me
a
ask you a
physical mark.
question. Is China Christian?
Large part of it.
Somewhat,
It's not Christian.
Last part they converted.
somewhat.
Bro, Christianity is in a lot of places outlawed. It's not a Christian country.
No, not a Christian country.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Is
no,
China
no.
a Christian country?
No.
No. Them man are under persecution. It might be me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Them man are under in China. A lot of the Christian communities are under persecution because the CCP is communist. They don't believe in all that
communism, yeah.
all
Yeah,
that bullshit.
freedom of religion.
Who's the #1 trading partner of America? So what the fuck is he talking about? Here, Christianity is the, you have if you don't have Christianity, you can't buy yourself. So what about Saudi Arabia? Where they getting all their oil from?
Well, legally speaking, America's not a Christian.
And China's the biggest.
Neither is the UK.
China's supposed to be the biggest importer of Saudi Arabian oil as well.
Bro, the only ones upholding Christianity in the UK is a bunch of Nigerians and Ghanaians and a few West Indians going hard.
But it's like Esau's also eroding the whole God thing completely.
Yeah.
You got Tommy
Nice.
Robinson and these man, get rid of these Muslims. This is a Christian country. I ain't never seen them man outside with the Bibles though. I ain't never seen, you know who we do see out there talking about Jesus is Lord. It's them fucking Nigerians.
Yeah.
And them.
All these Christians, right? They're just white supremacists, right? That's what they are. Like,
If you didn't know, I could guarantee you that most white people in the UK, you could go up to them and say, well, what, you believe you're a Christian? Yeah. So what do you think about the book of Dorothy, chapter 2, verse 8, yeah? And they'll be like, oh, the book of Dorothy, yeah. They wouldn't even have no idea that there's no such thing as the book of Dorothy. Because they don't know nothing about the Bible. They don't even go to church. Church is a derelict, man. The only people that go to church in the UK, that's why when vocab alone came to, we were like, bro, you're wasting your time. The only people that actually care about Jesus, yeah, in the UK is Jake. Jake is taking over all the churches all over. On a Sunday, ain't no crackers coming out their house to go to church. It's all Jake in the little vans.
well, look, we're here the weekend, right?
Yeah.
I don't see
Bro,
don't go in there, bro.
bro,
one's going
that's a
in there,
dead
man.
zone, bro. It's
If
a dead
anything,
zone.
they're the community center.
Yeah, no
Man,
one-
are pushing out Halloween parties. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm do right now.
Esau's not dealing with Christianity. So why is it the mark of the? You guys just didn't. It's everything else but what it really is, which is the implantable RFID chip.
Yeah.
Can we get the scripture on the mark? Might as well go into the mark of the beast. You cannot buy or sell unless you have that mark. It's an implantable RFID chip that's going to be hooked into the new system.
And the words break itself down, man. If you can be bothered, right, to go into it, the words break themselves down. That's why I was supposed to say encourage us to go into words, man, because it gives you a clearer picture of what it's talking about, rather than make up some fucking story around some bullshit, you know, which is what you guys are doing.
You remember when we went to that
Yeah.
and then because people always say, oh, wait, the mark of the beast is the biometrics or the mark. No. All of these things are going to come together in one system. That's why it's all about two-factor authentication. Because if you only have one form of authentication, that system can be bypassed. So the reason they want your biometrics is because, they're going to put a chip in you, right? But the chip is going to have your biometric data in it. But not only that, your biometric data is going to also be on the cloud database. And they're going to have biometric readers. So if you use a chip, you're going to have readers that are going to check that the person who's using the chip is matching metrics for that chip. So that for that reason, you can't just cut someone's hand off and go and use their chip because it's like, okay, but you put that hand on there, but then the little camera in the corner, when you tap it, is gonna read you and say, hold on, the person, just like when you go to the you go use your e-passport.
Yeah.
You put the e-pass, it has a chip in it.
Scan
You scan it, but then there's a camera in your
Scanning
face
you,
also
facial
scanning your
recognition,
face. So if you're using someone else's
It'll know,
passport, it's
yeah.
gonna know because your biometrics don't match.
not a match. Yeah.
That's why ISO's coming with these 15-minute smart cities.
Yeah.
And there's a movie called
There's a few movies that's been in. They show you.
what's it called? Imposter with an O, OR. Imposter. It's a brilliant film. Michael Pfeiffer is in there, and some other don. I forgot his name. And in that film, they're all chipped. They're in a state of war with some aliens, and everybody's chipped. And they show you there's a point where he takes the chip out of his body, and he's running with. He put it in like an animal.
Yeah, to go around.
So the animal was running around with a chip here, and
same thing
so
with
as you walk past the you know you
The
get
reader.
nowadays they built these monitors in it. Yeah, as you run past the monitor, his face was flashing up on the monitor because they were looking for it, and the guy was trying to find it, and then they found the dog. He's like, oh fuck, do you know what I'm saying? But that shows you it was a system keyed in to everything else around you.
I did a video in the week.
Internet of Things. Yeah.
I did a video in the week once again, just going over the fact that the entire system is being built. It's there. Where you've got the EES entry exit system that the EU is implementing. Well, it's supposed to have been implemented in October, but it's pushed back now. But the whole idea is, once again, you enter into the system, put in your biometrics, doing the scans, the iris scans, the fingerprint scans, and you're looking into as well the CBDC, how like that's effectively just that is like I think it presents 98% of global GDP. So that's the whole world is effectively working on the CBDC. Even countries, I said the first 3 countries are like third world. You know what I'm saying? Zimbabwe, Nigeria, the Bahamas, and I forget the one as well.
Like Estonia and places like
Jamaica,
that.
yeah.
You know, they're all on it.
Yeah. Yeah, Estonia's got a digital ID, and basically everything is on this digital ID. So all you need to do is move that ID into, you know, so the whole
future is
Yeah,
there.
and then adding in the sector 2 factor of being in the source. So now they're trying to do. You got the Microsoft Authenticator, right?
Yeah.
But what if you ain't got your phone on you? So what they can do is just put your biometrics there, and it's easier to everywhere to have these cameras.
Yeah.
So the cameras can check you. That can be the 2-factor situation. Now they just had a big cyber attack in a company that we may work for, and everything's changed now when you're using the computers. Because before you could just put your password in, go on the computer, and sign into like use the internet. Now everything's 2-factor. So for me even to go on Chrome, start using the internet, I now have to do my authenticator app just to get all that to work. And it's long.
So that was on purpose then.
So the next step is going to be, listen, man, just tap, man, and then have a little webcam, and it will scan you, and then we're good to go.
Because if I can say, when it comes to cybersecurity threats, and just in general, like those kinds of threats, it's always a human failure. Because a lot of the time, the systems are designed to be good, right? So when you look at the Twitter hack,
You would say that.
But basically, when you look at the Twitter hack from a few years ago, it wasn't we hacked into your system, we downloaded, we put in a virus. No, they just it was even it was a human failure in the link. Right, so you basically just say, oh yeah, you know what, what's this password again or whatever. Speak to someone, and there's always someone that's a failure. Once you got their credentials, you can enter the system. But as you're saying, you put the 2-factor on. You can't do that anymore. You know. So what was it, for your safety? When you watch Viva Vendetta, you see the police trucks for your safety.
And then
now,
if you notice now, when you go to do these self checkouts now, they will have cameras on there. There's cameras everywhere. So they've made the cameras ubiquitous. And the brother did a video about the biometric cameras as well that they're putting up in the light bulbs. It's all designed so that when they chip everyone, they're still going to be able to track and trace you with the biometrics as well. So it's a closed system.
Yeah, you can't run and hide.
And you can't use someone else's. Let me take the chip out of someone and put it in me, because it will flash up. Okay, the biometrics on that chip doesn't match the person who's using
DNA and all that.
Look, man, you forget this is Satan you're dealing with. Right? He's for everything, man.
That's why it says in Ezekiel 21. So he's sharpening his sword, and his weapons have been furbished. His technology is sophisticated. Look at Elon this week. Now he's got the humanoid robots coming out, all the Tesla vans and all that. You're getting it shipped straight from out of Hollywood.
That thing they did, good when they caught the spacecraft again. I was kind of sick of
Yeah, man, you got Tesla
It was
robots
crazy.
like, coming out now. You can buy them at 30,000 a pop. Like the future is here, man.
Yeah.
So that MOT to the B system is here, man. Because they're calling this guy the freedom fighter and all that.
Yeah,
free speech.
everyone's got
But he's pushing
readers.
He's pushing neuro.
Yeah.
And if you're a trader right now, they've made it where you pretty much everybody's got a reader in the UK. I don't know about. Yeah, bring it up.
No, because you know, as I do my language meet up thing, and then the lady used to have like a like the sum up, but basically
You can use
now
your phone.
you can use your phone. So she was like, "Ah, you can just put your card on." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh
Yeah,
shit!"
even Amazon. You know when you use Amazon now, you can click tap to pay
Right,
and actually tap your card on your phone to pay Amazon. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, all that
because your
Google
phone's
Pay, all
your
that.
phone's the
NFC
interface.
reader,
You got the biometric, all that shit.
So then, what does that mean then? You could
what?
have it where if they give you a chip, you can actually have not only is the phone a biometric reader
Yeah,
because it's got the camera and the fingerprint, but it also can read a chip.
yeah.
So you can have both forms of authentication. So to access your phone, you got to put your chip on the
Yeah.
phone, and then it will read your Face ID, and you're good.
That's where everything's leading, man.
Yeah, but as you said though, it's here.
Everything's digital. Yeah,
It's-
future
Yeah,
is
let's
here,
read
man.
Revelation. You know, it's ready to roll out. And Great Millstone have been on top of the game, baby.
Yeah.
We've been on top of the game. While all these men for years been playing games and ain't no micro. Remember them dudes from the UK? They had to come out and say, everyone's talking about this microchip. Ain't no microchips because they had to do damage control. Now, why are you talking about it? Why do you have to address it? Because your followers are seeing that everything we're saying is starting to get spooky. Visa, MasterCard, everyone's doing the contactless thing.
It's digital.
You come into London, you need to. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I haven't used cash in about a month.
It's inconvenient.
Yeah, you don't
so
carry
it's-
cash no more.
It's like
Everything's just tap, tap, tap,
Yeah.
tap, tap.
No, I'm being dead serious. I haven't used cash in about a month.
Really?
No, tell a lie. I haven't
Go
specifically
to
taken out cash
ATM, yeah. you don't
because I
need to.
can't. My cards are not working, so I just.
Brothers don't even really carry cards no more.
I
You
just
carry your
on my
phone.
phone, bro.
Everything, travel on the bus, train.
Bro, my
tap,
phone,
tap,
my
tap,
watch.
tap, tap.
yeah.
My
Everything's
watch
tap,
is
tap,
even
tap.
more convenient. I just on
Everything's
that
just-
blood clot.
yeah.
Because I legit try for
Those brothers
budget.
looking at I'm just telling the
It's
truth.
like how could
Okay.
you? Yeah.
No, I was-
Bank cards, isn't it?
But that's how Esau does it. It's called gradualism, man.
yeah.
That's how he
Yeah.
made everyone. Everyone's just used to using their phone now. You don't carry cash no more.
What
It's
do you need
becoming-
that for? Even if you go on the market stall,
Yeah.
you don't need to use
Yeah.
cash no more. The
Certain
market
stock
man's pulling up.
supermarkets don't even accept cash.
But that's what I was saying. I legit for budgeting tried. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take out cash and just use cash so I can physically see the money going. Right? I couldn't. It was inconvenient. There's no one working at the till, which takes cash, so you can't use the cash.
Yeah.
And then loads of stores are like, we don't accept cash.
Or the cash gets stuck. In
Or
the-
Yeah, it's just like just tap and go, man.
I was like, right, this is actually long. In London, it's bloody hard to use cash.
Yeah. Hey, when something takes cash, you get annoyed sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I want to use the little weight machine at my gym, and
Yeah.
it takes coins, and it's
Yeah.
like 70p. So you got
I ain't got no
70p.
coins.
It's like, oh, man. But if it was
Convenient. That's what Esau
usually your phone's already in your hand.
Yeah, that's what it's
I get you. I hear
It's
you.
all about convenience. And Esau,
Now, to be honest with you, I'll be honest, the most convenient thing is the watch.
Yeah?
Watch is the most convenient. So it's just like boom, boom.
Yeah.
and then see, then it's gonna be a hand.
Yeah. Well,
Just use it, boom, boom.
Samsung
It's
have
gonna
a
be
ring
hand.
now.
Well, they got the rings,
Yeah.
man.
I'm saying
Yeah,
Esau is the master manipulator, man.
Yeah.
Esau knows what he's doing. Look, said they do a diligent search.
Yeah,
Esau,
yeah,
look, we're gonna make these guys go crazy. We're gonna make them use their card. Then we're gonna say that's obsolete.
And
We're gonna
London
make them
was
use their
ahead of the
phone.
game from long
Yeah,
time because a lot of places in America never had contactless. Man are still swiping.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Man are actually like
Yeah.
Yeah,
swiping.
long.
But we ain't swiped in years,
Shit.
man. That's a madness.
It's still
like,
got the strips there, but they don't get used.
But now they're starting to do more contactless. But remember, they had the Oyster cards to
Yeah.
pay. In
Yeah.
America, they were still using Metro cards,
Metro
like
cards.
where you swipe. Because when I went to
Prepaid
New
card
York,
type thing.
Huh?
Like a prepaid card type thing.
yeah, but it's the
Yeah.
same like an Oyster, but you swipe it.
Right.
You know like how we used to have them old ass fucking paper tickets
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
put
yeah,
it
yeah,
through.
yeah, yeah.
But their thing was like you swipe it and you go through, all them times us man were tapping with the Oyster card.
Yeah.
And we did videos saying eventually you won't need to use the Oyster card, you'll be using your
Bank
bank
card.
card.
Yeah.
Now
And
what?
so-
Yeah.
And then
No
when
one
they
uses
get rid of
Oyster
Oyster card, they just have the bank card.
Just have the bank card.
Yeah. Just going like from tape to from cassette to CDs. All that shit's obsolete now.
Because
I think
Mini disc.
I was gonna say as well.
all that mini disc,
That's a good
iPod,
thing, catch on.
iPods and all that. That shit's obsolete.
But
man.
because now they're telling you, oh, cash is dangerous, or cash is environmentally friendly, or whatever excuses they got to get rid of it. And they've been slowly dragging it out. They've been taking the ATMs out of society. Banks are closing down.
Banks are closing, yeah.
And so it's just a moment.
But now they're trying to say that cash machines you're going to be able to use contactless to get cash out.
Yeah.
Because these cards are fucked up. Listen, bro, I've gotten cards. My cards don't last me like, for some reason, after like a month and a half of using my cards, they stop working. The chip just stops working in the card, and that's why I end up just using the contactless. But it's like I put it in the damn ATM, and it's saying I can't read it properly.
It's worn out.
Yeah, I think it is, but these cards are not
Yeah,
good
it's worn
quality,
out,
bro.
yeah.
They just keep fucking.
Yeah, it's done on purpose.
Anyway, yeah, let's keep reading the prophecies.
Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Right, that's all the citizenry across the board, across class, no matter who you are, they're gonna have it. Like, in order to be a citizen, in order to be able to partake in the infrastructure that the government is going to control, which is everything, you're gonna have to have a mark to access it. It doesn't matter what goods or service it is. You're gonna have to be identifiable because they want everything tracked and traced. It doesn't matter whether it is you want to use your car, or you want to drive, or you want to travel. You want to buy this or buy that. It could be something minuscule. You're still, even just to use the internet, they're going to want you to have to log in using your chip. Because that's the thing they were talking about, the internet passport. Because they're saying that's a problem. People jump, really it's the Edomites jumping on Twitter, talking all this racist shit, Jack from fucking accountant, is talking mad racist on the internet. And when you meet, man, it's like, oh, you're right, man. Yeah, but them man ain't going to be able to do that soon because guess what? You're going to have the digital ID, the digital credentials in order to do things, you know, to get your universal basic income, to stop the fraud. They're gonna, and then they're gonna be able to furthermore even see what you're buying. Because the systems will always will be easier to link up.
To see what you're buying, what energy you use.
Because a lot of the fraud is done because a lot of these systems are not interoperable. And people don't realize that.
Like,
you know, people think, oh, if I do thing over here,
They're gonna know.
these man over here. No, they don't. Because these systems do not communicate. Most systems are closed systems, and in order for information to go from one system to the other, it's a big process. What they're trying to do is bring in a system where all the information can easily be accessed by all the and integrated. And that's what they're gonna do. So that's what
Open banking is an example.
open banking. That's why the universal credit used to be all these different benefits, but they were separate. So man were doing all kind of madness. They you know, getting. But now you can't get a benefit you don't deserve.
One benefit.
Because it's one benefit, and they're gonna access you in the same system, and they'll know if you're getting another one because it's all part of the same one.
But that's also why, you know, I think about this thing of like built-in like fake, built-in, not obsolescence, but like built-in BS basically into the system, so that people do abuse it, so that then they can be like, well, last time, like for instance with the whole CV, where they basically said everyone can get like business owners to get like 50 grand, and people abuse the hell out of the system.
Flaws and loopholes they're making.
Exactly, designed into it so that they can say, well, last time we gave you money and you lot abused it, well, now we need a better way.
Well, they're saying that the stimulus packages, people were spending it, I think they didn't want to spend them on. And one of the good things about CBDCs is you can control how the money is spent,
Like
and how and whether you can save it, because they could put an expiry date on the funds. So there's a lot of reasons why they're going to bring in this system. But again, you ain't going to be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark, because when you come to try and get a product, they're going to expect you to pay digitally, and you're going to have permission to buy it. And they know that if they get rid of this product, like let's say they have a certain product at Walmart, right, and they sell you this product, right, because of the way the systems operate, when that product disappears, there has to be an answer for where that product's gone, because everything's digital now. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why they want everything tracked and traced on the other end, so they could track every product.
Yeah,
So they know that this product's gone to this person because they bought it and they can see it on the computer system.
Blockchain.
Even with the Tesco cards,
Club
that's what they're
cards,
doing.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
tracking
yeah.
who's buying what and
buying
when
what,
and checking the inventory.
Yeah.
So now you get into a system like before you could easily beat the system by letting things disappear and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
not, fiddle the
Unaccounted.
paperwork. But now it's very difficult to do that if everything is tracked and traced.
Yeah. Logistics intrigues me. Logistics intrigues
Bro,
me.
they got it. They can
Yeah.
see like, 10 products disappeared between here and there. How did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh well. Also, you were selling things unauthorized.
Yeah.
Or your license is revoked, or execute. That's how they're gonna do it. You're not gonna be able to buy or sell. You go down to your Walmart to get your rations. You're not just gonna be able to turn up without your ID and take it out the store. There's gonna be armed guards there. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, bro, this guy, where's your ID?
There's going to be a limit on what you can take.
And a limit on what you can take, and you can't take more than that because they'll
Yeah.
know. Oh, I'm gonna just sell you some extra stuff. No, they won't be able to because the system will not allow you to scan the extra product, and then they'll know if that product leaves the store because it's all RFID.
Yeah.
They put RFID in the meat now. They put
Everybody's
the
gonna be
meat
held
in.
accountable.
Because I was saying reason because like when I was going through the airports and it was just like the fact that you can be on one plane and then they know to put your luggage on another plane, but then someone else is going to a different destination and then that luggage is going on that plane and it ends up in the right terminal when you were there and it says, well, this all and it's like all of that system. No human is dealing with that, more or less. It's just systems are being scanning like cards and RFN because that's a lot of it's RFID as well.
Yeah.
It's tagged and it's just moving things all across the different systems and it's just crazy.
That's what they want. They
You
want
know.
everything to be tracked and traced and integrated and interoperable. That's why the one government ID they're having
Yeah.
now, so that everywhere you go, you can just use the same digital ID that reduces fraud and all, but it
Yeah.
also allows them to know exactly what you're doing at all times.
And also this migrant situation, which is a very big problem.
Yeah,
They're going to use digital IDs for all of that.
Yeah.
So anyone that wants to hop the border, they're going to have a C hit.
And I see there's posters in my end recently about banking unbanked again, basically making sure everybody made accountable for it. So
Well,
they
banking
see
the other on bank is another way of saying because of all.
Yeah.
So they're saying there are people that are in the system, but we want everyone to be in the system. So it calls it all.
And that's why a lot of Musk companies are integral. Once again, when Musk bought Twitter, he said something very poignant. He said, authenticate everyone. Man. How are you going to do that? Then you've also got the Starlink, which is basically covering the entire Earth. So there's nowhere where you can't say that
The internet access
you know what I'm saying?
connected to Skynet.
Literally.
Yeah, 'cause that's what made Skynet dangerous because Skynet had loads of networks that it could live in.
Yeah.
I mean, if you destroy one place,
Yeah.
it's still it's connected to everything. Yeah, Elon is major new world order, but you can't tell these bone-headed truthers that them guys that had the biggest psyop. Because it's the people who should be against the new world order the most support Trump, who is he's like he don't get more new world order than Trump. Like he's fully new world order. Like, 100%. Like
That's why
so
Elon's at his.
I always thought I was having a discussion with Elder Ariel, and I thought, you know what, the perfect person. If I was to put myself in the shoes of the elite, and I said, who would be the perfect person to bring the chip? It would be Trump, because the guys who would be fighting against it the most are on Trump's side, and a lot of them are going to accept it because it's like, oh, I can't.
It's my guy.
I'm already invested, and I can't deal with the fact that he. So I'm just going to go
I
along.
have to vote Democrat, and I can't do that.
Well, it means you have to accept even full.
Yeah,
And a lot of people do not like to accept when
yeah.
I put all my hope into this. So that when he says take the chip, they're gonna do it. Because look, he was the V president.
Yeah.
A man acting like he didn't do that.
Yeah.
So for me, it makes sense to put Trump in and let him do all the new world order shit that they're expecting Kamala to do. You know,
Makes sense.
you can tell Kamala's just a burnout, man. They're gonna. She's gonna go stage left, man. She's there for a good time, not a long time. And you know what I mean by a good time.
I mean, I think
She got the skills, man.
Yeah.
They said she good with the mouth.
makes Lewinsky look like a. This is
She got that hurricane.
She's like a Dyson. No loss of suction. But
She got that class 5 verification of that hurricane, man. Shoot that whirlwind.
Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark.
Hollow man.
Yep.
No.
Says, or the name of the beast.
No, I was repeating that joke everyone's been doing on gigs, innit?
Oh, man. Hey, I feel bad for
man.
Gigs, man.
He done
Real 30 out here.
done himself dirty.
Yeah, you shouldn't have never done that feature with Diddy. Now it's
Brought
all
him to
messed up.
London and all these different things.
That's
Rare
crazy.
Diddy parties.
With Diddy.
Over, it's over.
You know when he does that.
Bro,
wow,
You
come on.
can't hide it. You can't hide it.
There ain't no one that's been more 30 in London than Gigs. And it's like, it's
tainted with
damaged now.
yeah.
Well, you know, no one would have dared to say Swallow Man. You got to be a real up in the streets here to say that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
now you got normal random men saying that.
Got nerds calling them.
only,
Bad
the up,
Swallow Man.
only the real ups on the street ain't got that wouldn't have the respect to say
Yeah.
something. But then now everyone's just like Swallow Man. Oh, that's crazy. Man gave us all that. Man gave us the UK
Talking
anthem
the
and
artists.
everything.
Yeah. Wait.
Dead now.
Yeah,
That's
mad.
not.
Hey, Diddy fucked everything up, man.
Yeah. Innit?
Burner boy, all of it.
Yeah. Let me read it again. So verse 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
And that's gonna come quick. You know, listen, man. The way that's what I keep saying it every week, man. We can't wait for November the 5th. Man. I can't wait. They even just had this it's funny, these people, man, they're so retarded. They just had this, I forgot the name of this event. They have it all the time. And it's like a gala or a
Met
meal.
Gala?
No,
The
no,
presidents.
no, they just had it just now and they got all the like top globalists and top
Oh.
what's the name of it, man?
What,
Trump was there. They just had it this week. Someone sent it to me. See if I can find the name of it. I watched it on another thing. I'm like, oh, these men are Satan. What's the name?
Got correspondence there now?
No. It's a institute type.
Okay.
See, I can't see the name of it. Bill Gates. But it was on C-SPAN. It's on CNN. They put it on TV. But I forgot the name of the thing. But anyway,
Apparently the brother's saying it's the Al Smith meal.
something like that. Probably that, yeah.
Al Smith.
And it's got the Republicans and the Democrats. They're all there, pally. And the guy was supposed to be telling jokes. And one of the jokes he said was the elephant in the moon, the one person that's missing from this, and he said the middle class. So they were just laughing at the middle class. Then he said, we're getting ready for civil war on November the 5th. And everyone was laughing at that. And it was a bunch of stuff that he said in it, like, and he said, what should we call ourselves? And then he said globalists.
Wow.
Like, and all that stuff, like, so, but they're basically just laughing at the people because they're showing you that even though they play the role of Republican and Democrat, and they're all enemies, and bro, and they're all trying to put Trump in jail and all this, and you're supposed to hate Trump. Them man are all sitting there in the thing, laughing and joking and eating meals.
Yeah.
So it shows you the whole thing is bullshit, man.
Theater.
It's theater, man. They're all part of the game, which is to bring America to crisis in order to institute the tenets of the New World Order, draconian laws. So when Trump's getting up there and doing all his interviews about how he's going to save America, bro,
Damn it, man.
bro, them man are going to come down with pain on America, man. And not just America, the whole world.
Yes,
Sudden destruction. Oh, the devil shall come onto you with great wrath.
We just had the what's it, the DOD, Department of Defense.
Oh yeah,
The
they can shoot.
legislation. Yeah, they're gonna shoot on site. Like, license to kill.
And the worst thing about it is, because they've hyped up the both sides of the divide, either side will be happy if the other side starts getting shot.
Yeah.
That's how mental these people are. Like, if Kamala got in and a bunch of Republicans started moving smoky, them Democrats would be like, yeah, shoot.
Yeah.
And then the vice versa. If the fucking Trump got in and he said, I'm gonna start shooting up these fucking wokevists and that, and these niggas, do it. That'll save America. And
they're so convinced that one's going to destroy.
They're so emotionally charged. But that's the whole purpose of the psyop. No genocide can be done unless you psychologically prepare one side to accept doing it to the other.
Trump's gonna.
And in the end, it will be to everyone.
And that's why it's important to desensitize all the killings that have been going on. Because they're going to accept it, or this is something that needs to happen.
No, because all these
You know?
legislations that they pass now is it as if America was at war.
Yeah.
And in the time of war and an invasion, that's when they pass all these different austerity measures
Remember,
to come down on the people.
they already have the NDAA on the books.
Yeah.
And according to the
Yes.
NDAA, you can arrest someone. You don't have to tell their family. You don't have to tell no one anything. You don't have to. You basically, you can just arrest someone and don't give a reason for it under the NDAA. That's already on the book, so they could just start arresting people,
Come to homes.
Put them in concentration
and
camps.
that's it. Like they don't need to give an explanation because under the NDAA they can
Yeah.
do that. Now, when Trump came into the power, did he repeal that?
No.
He had 4 years. Did he repeal any of these draconian measures that were brought in on the Bush and that? No, he didn't. Why not? I thought his followers wanted American freedom and less government. Well, when he came in, he should have got rid of them regulations. Oops. No, he didn't. He kept them and added on to them.
Yeah, he had you focus on the fucking wall.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That's what he had.
They want them to kill. He said, I want to deport all these immigrants. No, he's not. I'm going to deport no one.
He's promising the same thing there.
The immigrants are playing the role. The immigrants are going to be there for chaos.
Integral.
Go on,
Yeah. Says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 606.
which also goes into the barcode. You know,
You can see.
but we've broken it down many times, and the way it's unfolding, the proof is more and more in the pudding. You can see what's about to happen. You see that you got your Walmarts, you got your Tesco's. They've destroyed a lot of the smaller businesses. Like the banks are ready to collapse. The bank, even just the other day, the UK did a stress test on a banking collapse. These banks are all ready to collapse. At any moment in time, they could collapse the banks. At any moment in time, they could fuck up the oil market. The oil market is one bomb away from fucking up completely. And people don't even realize that how, they could have been, why are they not building up the oil reserves? You know,
They've been depleting them.
they've been depleting them.
Yeah.
It's all on purpose because they want the scarcity that's coming. Because through scarcity, it gives you an excuse to say, well, there's not enough petrol, there's not enough of this, there's not enough of that, so we need to come in and put controls. So they want these crises. They just banned the fucking the coal in the UK. They were gonna build new coal plants. Man just said, no, we ain't doing it. But hold on, everyone's suffering from the electricity price. Build a damn coal plant. You're not only you're gonna make money from the build, people could get jobs building the coal plant, but now you're gonna have cheaper electricity in the UK, which means the economy can work a lot easier. You're more competitive on the global market,
And more self-sufficient.
more self-sufficient. But why do they not want that? Because they want people to have a problem with getting electricity, scarcity through making it expensive. Because they know that the minute that Iran, what's it called, Israel attacked Iran oil capability, they've already said we're gonna fuck up everyone else's oil shit. And then straight away you've got a massive area of the world that provides the world with oil that's not going to be supplying oil. What's that going to do straight away? Oil price is going to go to the roof.
Skyrocket.
10 times. As I always say, it's like when you go to the shops on Boxing Day, how empty it is. And that's just from like one day or shot of the delivery trucks not coming in. Right, so then imagine that it's now too expensive for the logistics companies. They're just it gets to a point. It's like, look, we can't afford this.
That's what got during the pandemic. There was like that.
Yeah,
You know,
that oil
that was
crisis,
that's just a teaser.
and it's coming. That is actually going to happen. It's inevitable. There's going to be a crisis of oil. Do you know what I'm saying? And all this green energy ain't going to save nobody, because this whole world is completely dependent on oil, man, and a cheap oil. You got expensive oil, everything, food, everything is based upon energy. You need energy to do everything, to transport, to create. Most of our products are petrochemical.
And that's why America likes to control.
The drugs are petrochemical. The pharmaceutical drugs are based on fucking oil. You know what I'm saying? Bro, everything's oil basically.
Even these electric cars.
You
talk about electric cars. How you going to drive?
But they're the ones that's going to be controlled even quicker.
Shut down.
You know?
What's that? That's a second of the 16.
Yep.
Victuals shall be sold good cheap. Then they'll think that's because now like now things are cheap in comparison to what it's about to
What?
be.
Yeah, you know,
With hyperinflation.
yeah. You know what's
You know?
beautiful, man? All of these, we're speaking about them racists on Twitter,
Yeah.
right? Oh, these third world countries, they can't. Yo, it's gonna get real third world out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That because I remember before the CV happened, I remember saying to my cousin back in Zimbabwe, said at least here you can grow your own food.
Yeah.
Everyone has a well or some access to water themselves. And I was like, if there's ever a food shortage in England, which then there was like a month or so later, we're fucked,
Yeah.
right? Because how do most people in this city get food?
Yeah. A prime example is lockdown.
Even outside the city.
Yeah, exactly.
Even
Because
outside the city. Yeah.
subsistence farming isn't no cabbage patch.
Yeah.
No, is it?
Yeah,
Farming,
yeah, exactly.
farming industry's been destroyed.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't start, even if
It's
you've
been
got
good.
land to farm, you can't start farming once a famine starts.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It has to be a cycle that's already.
Yeah, you need
And
to
you have to have reserves.
You have to have
Yeah.
storage
you
houses.
need to start planting lettuce now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It just goes to the field, spread seeds. Like.
you know, Cassie,
Waiting, man, sitting there waiting,
Yeah.
waiting, still
like-
waiting.
Bro,
I'm hungry, you know.
Cassie said, why you gotta go get your bag? Your gun's in your bag.
Yeah.
You get shot, why are you trying to get the bag?
Yeah.
You got hungry. That shit was funny, man. I was
Shit.
like, yeah, that's what it is. So like, listen, they're going to make the pain come.
Yep.
Like this is the agenda. Like they're gonna, and it's winter. We don't know how bad it's gonna get over
Yeah.
the next few months, man.
Yeah.
Especially where you see that these Israelis ain't got
Ain't
no
stopping.
chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
They ain't got no chill. So they just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. That Strait of Hormuz
Yeah.
might get closed up,
Yeah. Oh, look,
and that could cause a domino effect.
Yeah.
because even like I said a few weeks ago, I saw one guy and he would take shipments from the Eastern world. He said his cost doubled from 12 grand to 24 grand.
Yeah.
That's unsustainable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That means that's why you're seeing businesses close. Because once again, when it costs so much, you get to a point where it's like, look, we can't continue. We've got to shut up shop.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if all that becomes a crisis in the Middle East, that's even more reason for places like China to get involved in the war. Because guess what? Most of their war they get from most of the oil they get from Iraq. They get a lot from Russia, but I think the second biggest supplier to China is Iraq.
And that's why all these nations that you see coming together, they all got invested interest in being with one another. That's the whole BRICS nation thing. They all rely on each other, man. They're not trying to rely
They're
on the
looking at
community shit.
Israel like, yo, man,
Exactly.
chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, man? You're fucking up the back.
Yeah.
Like it's
At least to the front, man.
yeah.
Yeah, they're drawing them out. And then we've seen that even they're saying that America isn't effectively stopping these man. They're coming out and saying, well, we would like them to not do this and that.
Yeah,
Them man are like, yo,
yeah,
I'm doing our thing.
Yeah.
And they're helping them. So really, behind closed doors, they're with everything that the state of Israel is doing.
And everyone's looking at it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what does the scripture say? All the men of that confederacy.
Yeah.
You know, what regular people nowadays are looking at these Amalekites, these Americans, is like, bro, like you're fucking everything up for everyone.
Yeah.
You know,
That's why they're gonna shoot nukes.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like, oh, you got your revenge now, just chill. Man,
Exactly.
not let chill.
Yeah.
people like you killed the guy.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
said
yeah.
this was the guy.
Nah,
you killed him. So just
Man, just get started.
Now they're saying they're having a vote in the parliament because they want to start basically settling areas in Gaza that they've taken. So we know what it was all about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, new projects, man.
We know what it was all about, man, because we know Esau is a
Yeah.
slimy little dickhead.
And I go,
Shall hit the hawk.
it's from 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound, when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid.
Because if you get into a crisis, that's what people don't realize. Like one thing affects another. So it's like, for instance, let's say you got the different staples in the world, like you got rice, you got flour and all that. Yeah, you might be a country that you eat rice and flour and you're good, and then you hear that there's a problem in one country with them exporting flour, and you think, okay, that's cool. No, that's not cool, because what happens is they've now taken a vital food source off the global market, which means now that what food is on the market is automatically going to increase in price, even if it's not flour. Because let's say that these men that can't buy the flour now might say to themselves, well, it's either we spend more to get more flour, well, maybe we just buy more rice. But that's going to put the price of rice up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you really get into a situation, where one country decides shit's getting too deep.
Yeah.
We're gonna stop exporting. Another country looks at it and says, "Wow, them man are not exporting that. We need to keep more of our shit." So we stop exporting, and then that becomes like a domino effect where countries start having to start living on what they produce. And some man are gonna find themselves in
Some man don't produce very much.
Some man don't produce that much.
It's like I always speak about it, but Clarkson's Farm showed you that, man.
They don't
England's messed up, man. A lot of our farmers ain't really been able to sustain themselves because it's expensive. When you hear certain of the costs that these man up, I was like, bro, you paying how much? And you're getting back how much?
But
Barely breaking even. They're barely breaking even.
England's always been in that position going back to the World War II, the Battle of the Atlantic. This is why you had the merchant navy, because they brought in the food rations because they were struggling to get food in from outside the island. So all they did have was a few potatoes and some onions and all that. All the other food is supposed to come from on boat by other countries can't come here. So people don't realize how quickly a crisis can snowball into madness, and it don't need to take 6 months. I'm talking about very quickly. One thing can lead to another. Because you need to move fast. If a situation happens, you need to think, okay, stop the exports immediately. Immediately, because if we let these exports keep going out, we're gonna be in a situation next month.
Don't let that ship out the harbour.
You need to keep that.
Well, at a certain places in Africa are an example of that, where it's like where like the country itself is exporting all of its food, but then the people are going hungry. And people are like, yo, what's going on?
They're gonna start fucking. Hey, so a lot. This is like we said, man. When a lot can happen, but we're really looking at this November the 5th because it's America, and this election they're building it up as being pivotal.
Like the election.
The election.
They said it's the last.
I need to buy myself a bottle of port, man. I'm gonna be watching that. But now they're saying that Trump is up. Trump is hella up.
61%.
Hey, it's landslide.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kamala's.
So you never know. They might give it to Kamala. And then Trump do a coup, a military coup.
Fixed him.
The military stands with Trump. This was an illegal. It was rigged. You know, they had illegal immigrants voting. And then Trump have to go in there and physically take Kamala and them man out of power. And then if that, I'm not saying that will happen, but if that happens, that's leading to enough man getting shot and killed in the streets. Because that will just be hype. Oh shit. And then the rest of the world's gonna be like, oh shit, what's happening in America? It'll be mad.
And that's gonna spread because all these other governments are gonna uprise and shit because they're not happy with their leaders either. So it's gonna spread.
Oh yeah, in the Europe, the worst thing is getting, the more the people are now they're looking at Hitler as a hero. Legit. People are looking at Hitler like, yo, this guy was right.
He's onto some shit.
I got something. It says 2 Ezra 15 and 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their
So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for November the 5th and seeing how it's going to play out. You know, it's very interesting to me, man. I can't wait, man. I'm extremely titillated.
There's bonfire night.
Fire to be going off and everything, man.
I might set off some fireworks.
Trump wins and I'll bust it.
So we're gonna see. I'd love it if Kamala won, to be honest with you. That would be like, because I know for a fact them man are gonna be like, nope, they stole it. Nope, we're not accepting this.
Bitch, they're gonna be going crazy.
They're gonna lose their minds. But if Trump wins straight off, the Democrats, it's gonna be a lot of, no matter which way you slice it, it's gonna be a madness. You know what I mean? So anyway,
it's at certain times it's hard not to be happy. Oh yeah, this election. Oh no, not me. Yeah, this election. Oh, it's gonna be.
It's very interesting, man. It's never been this emotionally charged.
The best reality TV ever.
Exactly.
Electrifying.
And they got a reality TV star as one of the actors.
Man. That's it, man. All right, so so that will close up, man. Say, God, halal, double honest to the apostles and elders of great. Honesty, brothers out there in the highways and the byways.